Chapter 2508. The elders screamed, "Damn, brat, don't try to deny it. You killed our holy son. Today, we must kill you. We will use your blood to pay tribute to our holy son. We must catch you, pull out your tendons and skin you alive, and send you to the 18 levels of hell. You will not be able to escape. Kill him. Avenge our holy son." The martial artists of the 9 heavens' sacred ground roared. The people of the 5 elements palace and the myriad thunder sacred ground also gathered around. "Brat, looks like you are going to die today. I don't know what kind of grudge you have with the 9 heavens' holy son for you to kill him like this." The 5 elements saint said coldly. The myriad thunder saint sneered. "Yeah, can't we talk it out? Why must you kill him?" The two of them were very sinister. Although they did not know who did it, they had already identified Lin Xian as the murderer. This way, they could kill this person together with the 9 heavens sacred ground. F***ck. You two are so shameless. Which eye of yours saw us do it? The Crimson Dragon cursed. These 2 holy sons are too sinister. He wished he could cook them and eat them. Lin Xian's face also darkened. He stared coldly at the 5 elements saint and the myriad thunder saint. "Let me say it again. I did not kill the 9 heavens holy son, but the 2 of you might be killed by me on the spot." Lin Xian indeed wanted to kill the 5 elements saint and the myriad thunder saint. These 2 had gone against him time and time again. Did they really think he would not kill them? Don't try to deny it. You killed him. Admit your guilt. The myriad thunder saint and the 5 elements saint sneered. "Brat, go to hell." The elders of the 9 heavens sacred ground roared. Dozens of them attacked together. The sky was filled with light and exploded in front of them. There were so many experts. No one among the Almighties could stand up to them, let alone the holy sons. Lin Xian didn't take it head-on. His body flashed as he used demigods and semi-devils to dodge in the sky. After the breakthrough, his speed had increased tremendously compared to before. Coupled with the heaven-defying speed of the demigods and semi-devils, he was able to move faster than before. For a moment, his figure was erratic and his speed was beyond the imagination of these people. What incredible speed! The surrounding martial artists exclaimed. They discovered that such a violent power actually didn't hit the other party and allowed him to escape. 5 elements seal. Thunder purgatory. The 5 elements Saint Sun and the myriad thunder Saint Sun used 2 sealing mystic abilities to completely seal the entire hall. They would never allow him to escape. So what if you did? I don't believe that you can hide forever. The 2 holy princes sneered. The people of the 9 heavens holy ground roared in anger. Their gazes were like heavenly blades that pierced through all directions. Over there. Soon, they locked onto Lin Xian again. "Brat, you have to pay with your life for killing my holy son. This time, I will definitely not let you leave alive." Lin Xian was infuriated. He sneered. "You said I killed him? Good. Then I'll take it that I killed him. So what if I killed him?" Speaking of this, an extremely violent aura erupted from his body. It was like a storm that swept in all directions. As soon as this aura appeared, the surrounding people trembled and a look of horror appeared in their eyes. What a terrifying aura! How could this brat be so strong? The 5 elements Saint Sun and the myriad thunder Saint Sun were even more shocked. Impossible! How could his aura be so strong again? The 2 of them were really crazy because they realized that the other party's aura was on par with theirs before. But now, the other party's aura had surpassed theirs. How could this be? Damn it! Where did this brat go when he disappeared? Could it be that he had a fortuitous encounter? Exclamations rang out one after another. The Crimson Dragon also exclaimed, "Brat, you broke through?" Lin Xian nodded. He pulled out the ancient dragon abyss sword and pointed it forward. "You won't let me go? You killed my immortal palace's disciples and trapped my companions. Now you want to kill me? Do you think I will let you go? Come on, who wants to die first?" His cold voice was accompanied by countless rays of sword light. At this moment, he was like a sword god that everyone looked up to. "Humph, so what if you've become stronger? We have so many people. It's easy to kill you." The 5 elements Saint Sun said coldly. The myriad thunder Saint Sun also gritted his teeth. Damn it, the other party had broken through in such a short time. It really made them jealous. Kill. The martial artists of the 9 heavens sacred ground were even crazier. Indeed. So what if he had become stronger? They had so many people. Why would they be afraid of him? Swoosh. Swoosh. Several elders of the 9 heavens sacred ground charged forward. Boom. A big bright palm covered the sky like countless clouds. It carried a supreme divine power and slammed down from the sky. As soon as this power came out, the surrounding people's scalps went numb. It was too violent. The 4 elders were enough to destroy everything. Probably no one present could contend against them. Buzz. Looking at this terrifying attack, Lin Xian's eyes emitted 2 rays of sharp light. The sword chi on his body shone brighter and brighter, constantly rising. Swoosh. His body was like a flickering shadow, quickly dodging the sharp palm. At the same time, he appeared in another space. Whoosh. The ancient dragon abyss sword was swung, as if a giant dragon was roaring. Boom. This sword light enveloped one of the elders. A scream was heard, and blood spurted out. The elder who was enveloped by the sword light was cut in half. However, he did not die immediately. His miserable scream reverberated, and his internal organs and blood stained the void red. What? Cut in half with a sword. Another sword strike. The surrounding people were stunned. That elder was a peerless almighty. He was extremely powerful. However, he was cut in half by the other party's sword. The eyes of the martial artists of the 5 Elements Palace and the myriad thunder sacred ground twitched wildly. The people of the 9 heavens sacred ground screamed. This was impossible. How could he be so powerful? That was not the other party's trump card. That was just a casual sword light that split one of their elders in half. No, they could not believe it. In the battlefield, the other 3 elders of the 9 heavens sacred ground were also facing a formidable enemy, and they quickly retreated. They came to the side of the elder who was cut in half, wanting to save him first. Buzz. A golden rune appeared in Lin Xian's eyes. The next moment, the elder who was cut in half screamed again. His body, which was originally healed, kept rolling in the sky. His aged face was contorted in a twisted manner. Not good, a soul attack. The expressions of the remaining 3 elders changed. Such a strange method, perhaps only a soul attack could do it. Damn it. Save him. They struck out with unparalleled magical power and poured it into the old man's body, wanting to save him. However, the elder's neck tilted, and he was no longer breathing. Dead. A peerless almighty was killed just like that. Everyone was stunned. What kind of method was this? This was too heaven-defying. What kind of strength had the other party reached? Chapter 2509. Damn it. How is this kid so strong? This scene made the faces of the 5 Elements Saint and the myriad thunder Saint turn dark. Their hearts raced. The one who was killed was an 8-star saint. Even they would have to put in a lot of effort to kill him. However, his opponent had effortlessly killed him with 2 moves. Such means were shocking. Damn it. Xiao Xuanzi, you're amazing. Behind them, the dark red divine dragon cried out in surprise when it saw this scene. But soon, he laughed wildly. Ha 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 ha. Awesome. This is awesome. Who asked you to be so arrogant? Damn it. Kill them all. A strange voice sounded in the sky. Everyone was silent, completely stunned. The people of the 9 heavens sacred ground were even more shocked. Soon, they reacted. Damn it. This kid is too strong. Attack together. Don't give him a chance. Attack together? Do you think you can keep up with my speed? Lin Xian's body kept changing positions in the sky. Every time he appeared, these people would exclaim. He was too fast. Their souls could not keep up. How could they fight him? If the other party kept moving at high speed, they would not even be able to touch the corner of his clothes. At this moment, the people of the 9 heavens sacred ground were extremely sullen. They had thought that they could avenge their saint today, but they did not expect the situation to turn out like this. The people of the 5 Elements Palace and the myriad thunder sacred ground were also solemn. However, they did not retreat, because they felt that the other party was too terrifying. They had to kill him today. Otherwise, if the other party continued to grow, he would become a great enemy of the three sacred grounds. Everyone, don't hold back anymore. If you have any trump cards, use them all. The five elements saint said coldly. The aura on his body also burst out quickly. A five elements mountain appeared above his head. Today, he would die without a doubt. The myriad thunder saint took a step forward, forming a purple sea of lightning around his body. Use the heavenly palace. The few elders of the nine heavens' holy ground retreated one after another. They gathered together and struck out a series of hand seals. Whoosh! The heavenly palace that originally belonged to the nine heavens saint floated in the sky, emitting thousands of rays of light. It was as if the palace had really fallen from the celestial realm. A shocking force burst out from his body. Everyone watching felt their scalps go numb. What the hell is this? Wasn't this the nine firmament saint sun's divine ability? No, the nine firmament saint sun was already dead, but the immortal palace was still here. This was not the nine firmaments saint sun's divine ability. This must be one of the treasures of the nine heavens' holy ground. Precious treasure? Are you saying that the ninth firmament saint possessed an extremely terrifying weapon and was killed by someone? Heavens, who was it that did it? No wonder the people from the nine heavens' holy ground didn't believe him. The surrounding people exclaimed and discussed animatedly. There were all sorts of speculations in their hearts. The people of the nine heavens' holy ground were indeed aggrieved. The immortal palace in their hands was a precious treasure of the Holy Land. It could be said to be incomparably terrifying. Even if the saint of the nine firmaments encountered an extremely terrifying enemy, no one below the level of an invincible king would be able to break out of the immortal palace. However, why had their holy son been killed? They simply couldn't understand. In the sky, immortal light blossomed with incomparable radiance as the mysterious door slowly opened. A terrifying aura was emitted from his body. Feeling this aura, everyone's expression changed and they kept retreating. It was too terrifying. This aura could kill everyone. Lin Xian's expression was also solemn. He never dared to be careless when facing the immortal palace. His body swayed and the dragon sword realm appeared beside him, wrapping him up and turning into the shadow of an azure dragon. However, at this time, the five elements red and the thousand thunder holy lands trump cards were also displayed. His sword light that filled the sky dimmed. Seeing this, Lin Xian snorted coldly. Competing with trump cards? Do you think you're the only ones with trump cards? Buzz. Boom. A golden light appeared in the sky, and a white bone floated in the air. An extremely violent aura swept out in all directions. Boom, boom, boom. The immortal palace trembled, and the five elements mountain shook. The lightning in the sky dimmed. The entire sky couldn't bear it at all, and countless cracks appeared. The surrounding martial artists spat out blood and were sent flying. Damn it, what is this thing? They were going crazy. A small bone in the sky could emit such an aura. Did it have to be so terrifying? A saint. This is a saint's item. Damn it, he actually has such an item. The elders of the five elements palace screamed, and the people of the thousand thunder holy land felt their scalps go numb. The people of the nine heavens holy land were even more shocked. How could they resist a saint's item? Everyone, don't panic. He's just a small almighty. How could he fully unleash the power of a saint? If he unleashed it, he would probably be destroyed in both body and soul. Therefore, although the saint's bone was powerful, it wasn't impossible to resist. The five elements saint said coldly. Hearing this, everyone quieted down. Indeed, so what if it was a saint's item? If it couldn't unleash its full power, it would still be useless. Although they didn't have a saint's item, they could still unleash the full power of their trump cards. In this way, it wasn't impossible to resist the saint's bone. As expected, the three holy lands trump cards in the sky blocked the saint's aura. Seeing this, the people of the three holy lands heaved a sigh of relief. Lin Xian sneered. This scene was completely within his plan. What he wanted to do was to block these people's trump cards. As for killing these people, he would do it himself. Lin Xian's figure flickered as he charged over like a flickering shadow. The dragon sword realm above his head covered the entire sky. thousands of sword chi flew out like a rain of swords, enveloping everyone in front of him. Courting death, these people were enraged. Lin Xin dared to challenge the elites of the three holy lands alone. Too arrogant. Too arrogant. They fought back crazily. Behind them, the Crimson Dragon also charged forward. He opened his mouth and spat out 7 to 8 killing arrays. At the same time, he swung his tail and rushed into the crowd to kill. Whoosh! A dragon flame spewed out, and many people screamed. The Crimson Dragon was like an old monster, sweeping across the sky. He had been too aggrieved before. Now that he had seized this opportunity, how could he not fight back? In an instant, a great battle broke out in the sky. Whoosh! Lin Xian appeared near the 9 heavens holy land in an instant. He slashed out with the ancient dragon abyss sword in his hand. Pung pung pung. Clang. The sound of an intense collision rang out. Those 9 heavens holy land martial artists fought back. In the end, their weapons were instantly cut into pieces. Damn it. Not good. Heaven-class treasure. These people's scalps went numb as they frantically retreated. So what if it's a heaven-class treasure? I have one too. An elder roared. He held a long spear in his hand and charged forward. With a clang, the spear collided with the ancient dragon abyss sword, and a bright light burst out. Heaven and earth shook, and many people were sent flying. Kid, don't think that you can be arrogant just because you have a heaven-class treasure. The elder held a long spear in his hand, and his killing intent was awe-inspiring. Chapter 25:10. Kid, don't think that you can be arrogant just because you have a heaven-grade artifact. The old man held a long spear in his hand, and his killing intent was awe-inspiring. Let's see if your heaven-grade spear or my sword is more powerful. Lin Xian instantly unlocked the 3 seals on the ancient sword. An incomparably violent sword chi slashed out. 1 slash, 2 slashes, 3 slashes. The elder's arm went numb, and his long spear was sent flying. He spat out large mouthfuls of blood. Both of his arms were completely shattered, turning into a bloody mist. Damn it! How could his strength be so strong? The light on the elder's body soared into the sky, and he frantically retreated with his heaven-grade spear. Wanna leave? Not so easy. Didn't you want to kill me? Come, I'll give you a chance. Lin Xian turned into a sword light and chased after him. Damn it! Seeing this scene, the injured elder's scalp went numb. The others from the 9 heavens holy ground charged over. Not only that, the people from the 5 elements palace and the 10,000 thunder holy ground also charged over. Countless attacks shattered the area in front of him. However, Lin Xian's speed was beyond their expectations. In an instant, he dodged these attacks. The remaining energy shockwaves were all destroyed by the sword chi on his body. Moreover, these people were attacking Lin Xian while resisting the thousands of sword lights in the sky. It could be said that they were in a mess. Lin Xian easily dodged the attacks and once again came in front of the injured elder. Old bastard, do you think you can kill me just because you have more people? Lin Xian's eyes exploded with a biting cold killing intent. Since the people from the 3 holy lands wanted to kill him, then he would not be lenient. He wanted to see who would be the one to kill who today. Courting death, the elder was so angry that he vomited blood. You're just a little kid. What qualifications do you have to say such words to me? Is that so? I'm a little kid? You're an elder? So what? Today, I'll kill you, an elder. Sword chi erupted from Lin Xian's body. Everyone's expression changed, and even a few experts who rushed over were directly sent flying. A series of dragon roars and sword cries rang out, piercing through the 9 heavens. At this moment, the entire hall had turned into a world of sword Tao. Everyone was trembling. Even the 5 elements saint and the myriad thunder saint were shocked. The two of them looked at each other and quickly charged over. They wouldn't give the other party a chance to make a move. However, Lin Xian was even faster. Pung! The sword slashed down and landed on the heaven-tier treasured spear. The huge force caused the elder to be sent flying again. There were even more places on his body that had collapsed. Other than his head, which was still intact, the rest of his body was torn apart. The old man was scared out of his wits. Light blossomed from his head, and a mysterious rune flickered between his eyebrows. He was protecting his soul because he knew that Lin Xian had a terrifying soul attack. He didn't want his soul to be destroyed in an instant. If that happened, he would really be dead for sure. Shua. Lin Xian disappeared and dodged the attacks of the myriad Thunder Saint Sun and the five elements Saint Sun. In the next moment, he arrived before the old man once more. At this moment, the old man's body was glowing and he had recovered. His face was extremely ugly. At this moment, he had swallowed countless treasures and even swallowed 2 elixirs that could increase his combat strength. Buzz. He held the long spear, and a bloody light burst out from his eyes. Damn brat, go to hell. The long spear danced, and a terrifying and violent power accompanied by a murderous aura pierced out. In an instant, it enveloped Lin Xian. Lin Xian didn't care. Countless sword lights surrounded his body, forming a green dragon that coiled around him. Thousands of sword chi destroyed all the power around him. Swallowing elixirs? That's your trump card? You're such an elder? You want to use elixirs to increase your strength against a young junior like me? What a joke. Shameless. Damn it. I'll kill you. The old man was furious. How dare Suimo look down on him? What right did Suimo have to look down on him? He was a peerless almighty, an elder of the sacred land, an expert who dominated a region. When had he ever been looked down on by a young man? He roared crazily, and the void in front of him was completely broken. However, he couldn't hurt Suimo at all. What peerless almighty? What elder? In my opinion, you're just a piece of trash who climbed to this position in 1,000 years. If I want to kill you, it'll be like slaughtering a dog. At the end of his words, the great dragon sword soul in Lin Xian's body exploded again. A dragon roar resounded in all directions. Boom. The ancient dragon abyss sword released an unparalleled power. The current Lin Xian could completely withstand the power of the 3 seals. Therefore, the ancient dragon abyss sword was unstoppable. Sky-shattering, battle song, chaotic pattern, God Punisher. The 4 killer moves exploded, and the void below was completely destroyed. The violent sword intent swept through the 9 heavens. The old man couldn't dodge or resist at all. His body exploded and turned into blood. Even his soul was directly destroyed by the piercingly cold sword light. In the sky, only a purple spear was left. Ruzalong. Lin Xian waved his hand, and the purple spear was sent flying. The crimson dragon swung its tail and caught it. Seeing this, the people of the 9 heavens' sacred ground screamed crazily. No, damn it, give us back our treasures. You actually dared to kill our elder. I won't let you go. They were all crazy. Suimo actually killed their elder. That was a peerless almighty. And a peerless almighty who used a heaven-grade artifact. They couldn't believe it at all. At this moment, those young disciples had faces filled with fear as they retreated non-stop. What a joke. How could they fight against such a terrifying person? All the disciples retreated, and the elders went forward. Kill him for me. The elders of the 9 heavens' sacred ground also understood this, so they hurriedly let the young disciples use the array to attack from afar. As for the elders, they would fight in close combat. The 5 Elements Palace and the 1,000 Thunder Sacred Ground used the same method. Among them, the 5 Elements Saint and the 1,000 Thunder Saint took the lead to attack. They knew that they couldn't wait any longer. They had to kill Suimo, otherwise they wouldn't even be able to sleep well in the future. Boom, boom, boom. The 5 Elements Saint and the 1,000 Thunder Saint joined forces and attacked Lin Xian. Countless sword lights flashed above Lin Xian's head, shattering the void. He stopped and stared coldly at the 2 saints. Just as well, I'll get rid of the 2 of you today. Ruzalong. Lin Xian roared. The crimson dragon swung its tail and swept away a group of people with its long spear. At the same time, he said, "Understood." He naturally understood what Lin Xian meant. With a wave of its dragon claw, black quicksand swept out and enveloped the 1,000 Thunder Saint and the others. Suddenly, they were randomly teleported out. Damn it! Seeing this, the 5 Elements Saint roared and retreated quickly. Originally, He wanted to join forces with the Thousand Thunder Saint to kill Suimo with absolute strength. But before they could attack, the Thousand Thunder Saint was randomly teleported away. This scene was indeed beyond his expectations. Chapter 25:11. The 10,000 Thunder Saint had been randomly teleported away before he even started attacking. This scene was indeed beyond his expectations. Therefore, he had to stop. Lin Xian looked at him and sneered disdainfully. Why, without the 10,000 Thunder Saint, you don't dare to attack? What a piece of trash. Coward. Get lost, you ant. You're not worthy of my attack. What? He actually called the 5 Elements Saint a piece of trash? Coward? In the distance, those people did not leave. They were watching from afar. When they heard that, their scalps went numb, and their hearts beat wildly. Who dared to call the 5 Elements Saint a coward? A piece of trash? No one in the younger generation was qualified to say that. However, at this moment, the other party said it without hesitation. The 5 Elements Saint's face was terrifyingly dark. You're courting death. He was really mad. Indeed, without the 10,000 Thunder Saint, he did not have full confidence. However, it was just a lack of confidence. This did not mean that he was afraid of the other party, nor did it mean that he feared the other party. How dare the other party call him an ant? How dare he call him a piece of trash? He could not tolerate it. Kid, do you really think I can't beat you? The 5 Elements Saint's voice was cold. I just want to find a safe way. Since you're so reckless, I'll kill you alone. The 5 Elements Saint was really angry. He said coldly, listen, back off. Don't attack. I want to kill him alone. Saint. When the people of the 5 Elements Palace heard that, they were extremely anxious. The 5 Elements Saint snorted. What? Didn't you hear what I said? Or are you saying that even you don't believe me? Do you think I'm a piece of trash? Once he said that, the people of the 5 Elements Palace did not dare to speak. What a joke. The 5 Elements Saint was a powerful existence. At such a young age, he had defeated all the heroes and obtained the position of the saint. How could such a person be a piece of trash? How could he be an ant? Forget it. Let the saint do it himself. Yes, the saint's strength was definitely not something that this kid could imagine. Kid, you're dead meat. Our saint has been suppressing his strength. Today, he will show it all. You'll definitely die. What? The 5 Elements Saint suppressed his strength? When the people in the distance heard that, they were shocked. Lin Xian sneered. Suppressing his strength? Don't flatter yourself. If you have any tricks up your sleeves, just use them. Today, I'll let you know what it means to be invincible. Lin Xian's voice was sonorous. Every word he said transformed into countless sword waves that blasted out in all directions. For a time, no one could get close to him. Kid, you don't have to provoke me. I'll show you. I will let you see the true 5 Elements world. The 5 Elements Saint's expression was cold as he quickly formed 5 seals. Metal, wood, water, fire, and earth revolved around him. The 5 Elements seal was undone. A cold voice sounded. The 5 Elements Saint's power exploded again, reaching the peak. A terrifying power of the 5th form swept across the surroundings. Everyone took a few steps back. So powerful. The 5 Elements Saint's power had indeed skyrocketed. Heavens, could it be that he really suppressed his strength? What was he trying to do? Cries of surprise could be heard. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. Indeed, his opponent's strength had increased. But so what? Today, he had to kill him. I was planning to use my 5 phases world to deal with Leaf Doudinier and Sage Sun Alcade. Who could have guessed that I'd use it on you instead? But you can die in peace now. Sure enough, metal, wood, water, fire, and earth elemental light appeared around the 5 Elements Saint. They connected with each other and formed a strange world. Although it was called a world, it seemed to be the other party's domain. However, it was not an ordinary domain. It was an extremely strange 5 elements array that was formed by combining it with the 5 Elements Saint's domain. Its power was much stronger than a simple domain. Humph. The 5 Elements Saint snorted and waved his arm. Golden light flashed and turned into countless golden spears that flew forward. Each spear was flowing with a biting, cold, murderous aura. Even a peerless almighty would not dare to touch it lightly. How terrifying! Was this the Five Elements world? It was indeed powerful. That's right, this attack is much stronger than before. I wonder if that brat will be able to withstand it. Discussions broke out one after another. The people from the Five Elements Holy Land were paying close attention. The people from the Nine Heavens Holy Land did not go forward. It was not that they did not want to go forward, but the Five Elements Saints' domain made it impossible for them to go forward. The Five Elements Saints' Five Elements world enveloped the space around Lin Xian. If they went forward, they would probably be attacked. Therefore, they retreated to the side to watch. Facing the thousands of golden spears, Lin Xian waved his sword and smashed all the spears with the power of annihilation. Clang, 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 clang. Everyone's blood boiled. Who do you think you are? How dare you call yourself the Five Elements world? It was just a space formed by a domain and an array. Watch how I break it for you. Lin Xian sneered. Indeed, if one was not a sage, one would not dare to call their domain a world. This Five Elements Saint was so arrogant that he dared to call his domain a Five Elements world? You're courting death. The Five Elements Saint roared. How dare his opponent look down on him? In the next moment, the power of the Five Elements in the Five Elements world formed a five-shaped spear in his hand. Boom! With a thrust of the spear, the sky fell and the earth cracked. The terrifying long spear shattered the sword light that filled the sky. It then charged towards Lin Xian in a ferocious manner. Lin Xian used the demigods and semi-devils to dodge quickly. At the same time, he waved the ancient dragon abyss sword in his hand again. Clang! With a crisp sound, the Five Elements spear was cut in half, and the terrifying power of the Five Elements disappeared. What? It was cut in half. The surrounding people exclaimed. The people from the Five Elements Palace were even more shocked. They didn't dare to believe that such a terrifying weapon had a power that was extremely close to that of a priceless treasure. However, it was cut in half by his opponent's sword. This was too unbelievable. Is this your Five Elements world? It's so pitifully weak. Lin Xian sneered. The chaotic Heaven Destroyer sword and the Five Elements sword appeared and disappeared mysteriously. The Five Elements world trembled as if it was about to collapse. It was too powerful. Everyone trembled. At this moment, the combat power that Lin Xian displayed was really terrifying. It filled all of them with despair. The Five Elements Saint kept retreating, spitting out large mouthfuls of blood. Several cracks appeared on his body. Finally, he stopped and roared at the sky. The power of the Five Elements in his body exploded. Kid, you forced me to do this. He roared crazily. Boom, boom, boom. In his Five Elements world, the sky was filled with dazzling lights. 5 figures appeared in the void. These 5 figures were overflowing with light and color. Their faces were exactly the same as the Five Elements Saint. Clones. Seeing this scene, many people exclaimed in surprise. Indeed, they had seen such a remarkable ability before. However, it was usually divided into 2, or at most 3. It was rare to see someone like the Five Elements Saint who could split into 5 clones. Chapter 25:12. Damn brat, you've completely infuriated me. Today, I'll let you know my final trump card. A cold voice sounded from all directions. The 5 clones spoke at the same time. A terrifying, murderous intent pierced through the clouds. Lin Xian frowned. 5 clones? It was indeed beyond his expectations. But so what? The other party couldn't even defeat him. Did he think he could overturn the situation with just a few clones? What a joke. You're no match for me, and neither are your clones. Even if you have 50 clones, I can still destroy them, let alone 5. Lin Xian's sonorous voice shook the 9 heavens. In the next moment, the roar of a dragon and the cry of a sword could be heard from his body. Countless violent sword chi slashed forward like mountains. Raging waves. The cold voice reverberated in the air. The 5 clones in the sky shouted together and formed the same seal with their palms. Then, they suddenly opened their mouths. The seawater in the sky surged, and a blue light shrouded the entire sky. It was so bright that people couldn't open their eyes. In an instant, the boundless sea swept forward and completely surrounded the sword chi. Boom, boom, boom. The void collapsed in an instant, and the surrounding people's expressions changed drastically. The weaker ones were sent flying while vomiting blood. The stronger ones also felt their chests tighten, as if thousands of mountains were pressing down on their heads. Oh no, this is not ordinary seawater. This is 1001-layer water. A drop of seawater was as heavy as Mount Tai. What? 1001-layer water. Is this the legendary water? Damn it, the 5 Elements Saint is so terrifying. He has mastered 1001-layer water. Everyone was terrified and retreated madly. Even the Crimson Dragon retreated to the side. The water was too terrifying. When it appeared, it was like 1,000 mountains crying out in unison. As expected, the seawater in the sky bent countless sword chi. Many of the sword chi were even broken in the middle. Kid, do you see that? With my trump card, you're no match for me at all. The 5 figures on the opposite side sneered, and a terrifying murderous aura erupted from their eyes. Indeed, Lin Xian was also under attack. He felt that the chi and blood in his body were about to solidify, and his body was about to be crushed into a bloody mist. 1001-layer water? As expected, he had some trump cards. However, it was still not enough. With a cold snort, the great dragon sword spirit erupted once more. A powerful force swept out in all directions. The 1001 heavy water around him was completely wiped out by the sword light. Whoosh! Lin Xian stepped into the air, and with each step, the image of a dragon appeared beneath his feet. Terrifying roars rang out, blasting apart the seawater that filled the sky. Sky-shattering. A beam of sword light flew out and exploded in the sky, splitting into pieces. Heaven and earth shattered. The 1001 heavy water was mercilessly torn apart, and a huge black hole appeared. All the seawater in the sky flowed into the black hole. You want to devour my 1001 heavy water? What a joke. In the distance, the 5 Elements Saint sneered. The 5 figures formed hand seals again, and the black hole collapsed. The 1,000-pound heavy water flowed out once more. They turned into dozens of water dragons and roared in the sky, wanting to completely suppress Lin Xian. As expected of the 1001 heavy water, it was indeed terrifying. If even the black hole could not swallow them, then there was probably nothing that could withstand their weight. All the surrounding experts exclaimed. The people from the 9 heavens sacred ground and 10,000 thunder sacred ground revealed a cruel smile. The people from the 5 Elements Palace looked even more ferocious. You want to compete with our saint? You're still far from it. You can't devour them? Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. He did not expect Sky Shattering to be unable to devour these things. However, so what? If he could not devour them, then he would completely destroy them. His great dragon sword spirit was not to be trifled with. Boom! Lin Xian waved his long sword, and the aura of the dragon's sword gushed out. Suddenly, the 1001 heavy water that was close to him all sizzled, then turned into water vapor and drifted into the sky. More and more of the 1001 heavy water was destroyed, turning into water vapor that filled the sky and shrouded the surroundings. In the end, dozens of water dragons were completely destroyed and no longer existed. You want to hurt me with a mere 1001 heavy water? What a joke. What other tricks do you have? Use them, or you won't have a chance. Lin Xian held his sword and strode forward. What? He actually destroyed the 1001 heavy water? Moreover, he did it so easily? Heavens, who exactly is this kid? Why is his sword light so sharp? He can actually destroy the 1001 heavy water? Everyone was stunned. The 1001 heavy water could not be destroyed at all. Even the black hole could not devour it. However, the other party destroyed all the water with just a few swings of his sword. If they had not seen it with their own eyes, they would not have dared to believe it. Damn it! The 5 Elements Saint's expression became extremely ugly. He did not expect the other party to be able to destroy his 1001 heavy water so easily. It was really hard for him to believe. However, he soon became ferocious. His trump card was not just the 1001 heavy water. Blazing Red Lotus. North Pole Earth. The 5 clones formed seals again, and the attributes on their bodies changed into the fire and earth attributes. The power of fire and earth surged out, and between heaven and earth, flames burned, forming countless lotus flowers that danced in the fire. The mountains crushed the rift as they charged toward Qin Nin once again. They completely enveloped Lin Xian. Lin Xian waved his dragon sword domain and transformed into a true dragon. The dragon opened its mouth and spat out seawater. The dragon swayed its tail and knocked away the surrounding mountains. Buzz! Thousands of sword chi burst out from the dragon's body and slashed in all directions. The sky collapsed and the earth cracked. It was as if the sun was about to be destroyed. The power of fire and earth were destroyed again. The sky was filled with terrifying sword light. The tide of energy terrified everyone. They had completely retreated from the main hall and hid in the surrounding passageways. There was nothing they could do. The energy was too terrifying. Let me show you what the true power of the 5 elements is. Lin Xian's eyes burst out with a piercing cold light. He floated in the void like a god fiend. Whoosh! He waved his sword and simulated everything in his body. The 5 elements of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth appeared around him. Then, the 5 elements began to evolve under the effect of the great dragon sword soul. Boom! Black flames danced and turned into black suns one after another, crowding the sky palace. There were thousands of them densely packed together. Each of them contained terrifying power that would make the eyelids of peerless almighties twitch. Now that thousands of them appeared together, there was probably nothing that could resist. 10,000 suns burning the sky. Lin Xian waved his sword, and thousands of black suns smashed forward like meteors. Boom! 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 The 5 elements saint was struck by lightning. His 5 elements world shook, and countless cracks began to appear. The 5 clones also vomited large mouthfuls of blood. Damn it! Be destroyed for me! The 5 elements saint roared crazily and attacked with the 1001 heavy water again to resist. But at this moment, Lin Xian's second attack came. The power of metal flashed quickly and formed golden swords in the sky. 108,000 golden swords were filled with murderous aura and filled the sky. Everyone could not help but kneel down. Chapter 25:13. Metal Slaying, Shaking the Heavens. 108,000 swords descended together with Lin Xian's wave. The 5 elements saint spat out blood and flew backward again. More cracks appeared on his 5 elements world. The 108,000 swords pierced through his 5 elements world, and the 5 elements world was quickly destroyed. The 5 clones were also covered in cracks. 2 of the clones exploded with a loud bang. The 5 elements saint was severely injured, and his face was filled with madness. 10,000 trees descend. The 5 elements saint roared crazily, and the power of wood flashed. Bang! Countless forests appeared around Lin Xian, covering the entire sky. The trees began to absorb Lin Xian's power, trying to suck him dry. Humph! Let me show you what the true power of wood is. Lin Xian's sword radiance flashed, and he destroyed all the primeval forests. He pointed his sword at the sky. Heavenly tree! Heaven and earth trembled, and the void above cracked open. A green tree fell from the sky. This green tree was too terrifying. It was surrounded by green light and covered with mysterious patterns. It was like a heavenly tree, and it completely suppressed the 5 elements saint. Puff! The 5 elements saint spat out blood, and his 5 elements world shattered again. The surrounding people were stunned. What is this? How can this kid have such a terrifying superpower? They were stunned, because they had never seen the great dragon sword soul's imitation superpower. They were terrified. The 5 elements saint could not believe it. He looked at the heavenly tree that fell from the sky, and his face was filled with shock. Impossible! How could his 5 elements power possibly be more powerful than mine? I don't believe it. Half of his body was smashed by the heavenly tree. Not only that, the heavenly tree took root in his 5 elements world, and it quickly absorbed his power, causing his 5 elements world to shatter. The 5 clones were destroyed at the same time. Not good. Saint. The people from the 5 elements palace could not hold it in anymore. Although the Five Elements Saint had said that he wanted to fight one-on-one, the situation was very dangerous now. If they continued to fight one-on-one, their saint would be killed. They could not bear the consequences. Therefore, the people from the Five Elements Palace rushed forward crazily. Damn brat, go to hell. These people unleashed terrifying attacks towards Lin Xian. At the same time, they attacked the heavenly tree. Whoosh! Lin Xian shifted his position and dodged in an instant. However, the heaven-reaching divine wood was able to withstand the attacks that filled the sky and began to emit rumbling sounds. It was covered with countless cracks, but for a moment, it did not shatter. That was because if one were to look carefully, one would be able to discover that those cyan streams of light were actually tiny sword auras. At that moment, those sword auras were extremely sharp. Damn it! These people went crazy and attacked again. Finally, they shattered the heavenly reaching divine wood. The sky-reaching divine tree collapsed, shattering the void. The entire ancient tomb seemed to be on the verge of shattering. The Holy Sun! These people exclaimed and rushed forward, wanting to rescue their Holy Sun. Without the suppression of the sky-piercing sacred tree, the Five Elements Saint retreated quickly. But in the next moment, he screamed. This was because he discovered that Lin Xian was once again charging towards him. Damn brat, how dare you! The people of the Five Element Palace were furious. Lin Xian actually dared to kill their Holy Sun. How despicable! Lin Xian sneered. Why? Can you kill me? Can't I kill you? His body emitted a piercingly cold light as he unleashed his 4 killer moves, shattering the void. The Five-Element Sword formed a 5-element formation around him. Boom, 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 boom. The 4 killer moves sent many people of the Five-Element Palace flying. The 5-element sword formation was surrounded by sword auras and murderous intent. Many people were blocked. The 5-element Saint was also affected and kept retreating. Lin Xian could not escape. Lin Xian held his sword and charged forward. The Elder of the 5-element Palace roared. You're courting death. They unleashed the power of the 5 elements. Mountains crisscrossed in the sky. Flames and seawater filled the sky, making splashing sounds. The entire sky was completely shattered, but all of this was split apart by the sword. Boom! Lin Xian stretched out his palm, and the sun and moon in his hand spun, sending an elder of the 5-element palace flying. Lin Xian threw out another punch. The black dragon roared and sent another elder flying. There were not many experts around the 5-element Saint. The elders of the 5-element palace screamed crazily. Fellow cultivators of the 9 heavens sacred ground and the myriad thunder sacred ground, attack together and kill this kid. Attack! Hearing the cry for help, the people of the 9 heavens sacred ground roared. The people of the myriad thunder sacred ground also rushed out. Although they could not use the Immortal Palace's trump card, the other party also did not have the Sage's handbone. With so many of them, they could definitely kill the other party. Are you trying to bully me with numbers? Have a taste of Bun Huang's array. The Crimson Dragon also roared. At this moment, he did not hold back. He opened his mouth and spat out killing arrays one after another. In an instant, an intense battle broke out. It was extremely terrifying. The surrounding cultivators retreated crazily again. They did not dare to stay any longer and could only watch from afar with their souls. The 3 sages' movements were earth-shattering. They wanted to destroy the entire ancient tomb. Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon felt a strong impact. Damn it, they have too many people. The Crimson Dragon roared angrily. A crazy light appeared in Lin Xian's eyes. With a wave of his hand, he tore a corner of the sage's hand bone. Boom! A terrifying aura spread out. Boom! The Immortal Palace was blasted away. The 5 elements mountain was overturned, and the sea of lightning was torn apart. The terrifying aura of a sage swept out in all directions. The cultivators of the 3 sacred grounds vomited blood and were sent flying. 2 of the sacred grounds elders did not dodge. In an instant, they were killed by the aura. Their bodies and souls were destroyed, and they no longer existed. Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon were also affected. The 2 of them were very fast and kept retreating. They did not suffer too much damage. However, the aura in their bodies was tumbling. Damn it, This kid is crazy. The people in the passage were terrified. The cultivators of the 3 sacred grounds were roaring crazily. This was the result of a lose-lose situation. The other party dared to do this. Could it be that he did not want to live anymore? They could not understand. Among them, the elders of the 9 heavens' sacred ground roared. Activate the immortal light. Use your trump card. Suppress the sage's handbone. Otherwise, we won't be able to escape. They were really afraid. If the other party went crazy and wanted to fight to the death, no one would be able to survive. In the distance, the immortal palace was fixed in the void, emitting thousands of rays of light. The mysterious door slowly opened. 3 rays of immortal light slashed out. It was like a sword from the gods, making people tremble. Once the immortal light appeared, even a peerless almighty would be killed in an instant. They collided with the sage's handbone and were directly shattered. What? It was so terrifying. The cultivators of the 9 heavens' sacred ground felt their scalps go numb. Just a strand of aura was enough to shatter their trump card. This was really too shocking. The people of the 5 elements palace and the 1,000 thunder sacred ground did not dare to be careless. They also activated their trump cards. Among them, the 5 elements mountain flew over again. This time, 5 runes appeared on it, emitting an unparalleled power. It wanted to seal the entire world. Chapter 25:14. Sure enough, everyone in the hall seemed to have been frozen in place. The people from the 9 heavens sacred ground and the myriad thunder sacred ground cried out in horror. Fellow cultivator, help us break the seal. The 5 elements palace elder waved his staff and broke the seal on these people. These people frantically retreated. The people in the passageway were filled with terror. Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon's pupils shrank. They felt that their bodies had been imprisoned by the void, and they could not move at all. They could only watch as the terrifying attack came toward them. Look, those 2 have been frozen. The martial artists in the passage were shocked when they saw this. That was for sure. Once the 5 element seal was activated, it would seal the heavens and earth. Nothing could escape. Didn't they see that the elites from the other 2 sacred grounds were also sealed? If the 5 elements palace had not broken the seal, they probably would not have been able to escape. What? It's so terrifying. Those people trembled. Indeed, they felt a sealing power revolving around them. Furthermore, this was because they were very far away from the sealing power. One could only imagine how Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon were suppressed. Ha 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 ha. When the elders of the 5 elements palace saw this scene, they all laughed loudly. See? This is the power of the 5 elements palace's treasure. The 5 elements saint also heaved a sigh of relief. His eyes were filled with killing intent. Previously, the other party had caused him to suffer such serious injuries. He swore that he would cut the other party into pieces. He would not let the other party die so easily. He wanted to torture the other party. The people from the 9 heavens sacred ground and the myriad thunder sacred ground also surrounded them. They all laughed maliciously. Among them, the people from the 9 heavens sacred ground looked even more ferocious. Fellow cultivator, can you let us deal with this kid? They were too angry because the other party might have killed their saint. If they did not capture the other party, they would not be able to explain it to their sacred ground. First, cripple their cultivation and break their limbs. They will not be able to escape. The people from the myriad thunder sacred ground said viciously, Yes, I want to see his body and soul destroyed with my own eyes. The 5 elements saint was filled with killing intent. Waves of killing intent and malicious voices echoed between heaven and earth. The people in the passage were shocked when they heard this. Heavens, it's over. These 2 are probably not going to survive. That was for sure. Although he was strong, he was still unable to contend against the 3 holy lands. What a pity. Such a genius could very well become a great emperor in the future. So what? A genius who couldn't grow up was nothing. Sighs could be heard one after another. These people were all sighing for Lin Xian. However, the people from the 3 holy lands were sneering. The elders of the 9 heavens holy ground and 5 elements palace could no longer hold themselves back and rushed forward. The 2 of them instantly arrived near Lin Xian and Crimson Shinno, wanting to destroy their cultivation bases. Then, they cut off their limbs. Humph! Upon seeing this, Lin Xian snorted coldly. Looking at the elder of the 9 heavens holy ground, a sharp light flashed in his eyes. Golden runes shone in the sky. Although he couldn't move at the moment, his eye technique wasn't affected. Indeed, the elder of the 9 heavens holy ground screamed in agony as his body contorted uncontrollably. He retreated like a madman as the black necklace on his neck broke into pieces. This was the weapon that protected his soul. Under the effect of soul ignition, it broke into pieces. The elder of the 9 heavens holy ground screamed in agony. His soul was severely injured, and he screamed in agony. This scene caused everyone to be stupefied. They didn't expect that even though Lin Xian was immobilized, he could still injure an almighty with just a look. Such a move was heaven-defying. Damn it, this kid's soul power is still there. Hurry up and defend. Seeing this, the people of the 9 heavens holy ground roared in anger. They took out all the soul defense weapons they could use to protect their souls. The people of 5 elements palace and 9 heavens holy ground did the same. Whoosh! Among them, the elder of 5 elements palace had already arrived in front of the Crimson Dragon. He revealed a sinister smile. This was because the Crimson Dragon didn't have the same eye technique as Lin Xian. Wah! The Crimson Dragon indeed didn't have any eye technique. At this moment, he opened his mouth and spat out a ball of dragon flame. The dragon flame contained a trace of dragon blood. It immediately covered half of the elder of 5 elements palace. The elder screamed in agony as half of his body melted. He flew back while screaming in agony. Damn it! What kind of move is this? It's fire. He actually has such a strange flame. Once he killed this snake, he would definitely take out his inner core. Angry roars and roars could be heard. The people of 5 elements palace stared at the Crimson Dragon. The people of 9 heavens holy ground stared at Lin Xian. Kill. They charged forward once again. After immobilizing their opponent, they were still injured. This made them feel ashamed. This could be said to be a great humiliation. They had to kill their opponent alone. Humph. The 5 elements saint snorted. This time, he was going to do it himself. Although he was severely injured, the 5 elements palace had many treasures to help him suppress his injuries. His damaged body had also recovered. However, his face was still a little pale. He stared at Lin Xian. Kid, I'll pay you back 10,000 times, no, 100,000 times for the injuries you received. He once again formed a 5 elements world and circled behind Lin Xian before beginning his attack. He was afraid of Lin Xian's eyes. Seeing this, Lin Xian laughed. 5 elements saint, I have to say, you're really a piece of trash. I've been immobilized, but you don't dare to attack me directly? Ha 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 ha. Merciless laughter rang out, and the people of 5 elements palace cried out. The 5 elements saint was so angry that he vomited blood. The people around him were terrified. Yes, Lin Xian was already in such a state. It could be said that other than his eye technique, there was nothing else he could do. Such a person was no different from a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. However, the 5 elements saint didn't even dare to attack him directly. He only sneaked behind his opponent to attack. It had to be said that it was indeed surprising. It seemed that the 5 elements saint was completely frightened by his opponent. The people of 5 elements palace roared. So what? As long as we kill you, our saint is still invincible. Invincible? How could a piece of trash like him be called invincible? Lin Xian snorted. No matter what, you'll definitely die today. The 5 elements saint's cold voice came from behind. A terrifying killing intent mixed with the 5 elements realm pressed down. This time, the 5 elements saint didn't hold back. Buzz. Buzz. Lin Xian couldn't move, and he didn't use his eye technique. Countless sword chi burst out from his body, as if it had turned into a rain of swords, rushing toward the back. Boom, boom, boom. The sky full of sword chi blasted on the 5 elements realm, making shocking collisions. Heaven and earth trembled again, and countless cracks appeared. What? He can still attack. Oh my God, it can't be. Wasn't he immobilized? Those people were crazy. Chapter 25:15. The people from the 9 heavens sacred ground and myriad thunder sacred ground were shocked. The people from the 5 elements palace were even more shocked. That's not right. The great 5 elements seal not only seals the body, but it can also seal one's strength. How did he manage to attack? These people have gone crazy. The 5 elements saint was even more shocked. He did not expect his opponent to be able to release sword chi. No matter what, his opponent could not escape now. He activated the 5 elements power like a madman. On the other side, the people from the 9 heavens sacred ground and myriad thunder sacred ground attacked again. They used their most powerful super skills, wanting to cripple Lin Xian together. As long as they crippled him, he would not be able to cause any more trouble. At that time, they would be able to slaughter him. Brat, let's see how you die this time. The elders from the 5 elements palace sneered. The people from the 9 heavens sacred ground looked even more ferocious. I will use your blood as a sacrifice to our saint. Brat, you are too arrogant. Do you really think you are invincible? There are many people who can kill you. The people from the myriad thunder sacred ground said coldly. The 3 sacred grounds emitted a dazzling light that enveloped Lin Xian. It's over. That brat is dead. When the surrounding people saw this, they sighed. The crimson dragon also roared. He let out a dragon roar and tried to break free. However, he could not do so for the time being. Lin Xian felt a sense of danger, and a cold light flashed in his eyes. What? You want to kill me with just the great 5 elements seal? You are still far from it. His aura exploded as the great dragon sword soul in his body circulated. Rays of sword light appeared on his body. A dragon-shaped sword shadow appeared on his body and kept circling. The surrounding sword light became more and more piercing as if it was going to pierce through the sky. Damn it! Attack! Don't give him a chance to resist. The 5 elements saint roared. He felt that something was wrong with his opponent, especially his opponent's sword chi. He had experienced it many times. It was so sharp that it made him feel despair. Therefore, he would not give his opponent a chance. Ka ka ka! Roar! However, they had underestimated Lin Xian and the great dragon sword spirit. The power unleashed by the number 1 offensive saint art in the world was definitely beyond the imagination of these people. The roar of a dragon and the cry of a sword rang out. Between heaven and earth, the dragon sword shadow slashed in all directions. Countless cracks appeared in the void, with Lin Xian as the center, spreading in all directions. Boom! The space he was in completely collapsed, and black holes appeared one after another. Lin Xian, on the other hand, let out a long howl. His figure flashed, and he instantly escaped from the black hole. What? He had escaped. How could this be? Damn it! Hurry up and kill him. Angry shouts rang out one after another. The people of the 3 holy lands were stunned. The warriors in the surrounding passageways were even more shocked. Roar! The crimson dragon also let out a dragon roar. Its huge body shook the void as it escaped from inside. Damn it! You actually dared to trap Bin Huang. I'll cook you all and eat you later. At this moment, the crimson dragon's body expanded, and it turned into a true peerless demon king. The dragon blood in its body surged. With a swing of its dragon tail, it directly shattered the void. It was like 100,000 mountains pressing down. The people of the 3 holy lands vomited blood. Kill! Lin Xian also let out a roar. The great dragon sword spirit continued to rise, and the ancient dragon abyss sword was swung out. Spurt! An elder of the myriad thunder holy land was sent flying. The lightning crutch in his hand was split into 3 pieces. His body was also split into 3 pieces, floating in the sky. A miserable voice rang out. That elder was screaming nonstop. Lin Xian, on the other hand, swept out in all directions. Not good. Damn it. Counterattack. The 5 elements saint, myriad thunder holy land, and 9 heavens holy land roared crazily. They realized that the other party's combat strength had increased again. Damn it. Could it be that the other party did not use his full strength before? How could it be? Is he trying to run? Seeing the 5 elements saint keep retreating, Lin Xian sneered. The azure dragon hand stretched out and turned into a coiling dragon picture, enveloping the other party. Scram! The five elements saint roared and struck out his five elements world to fight against the coiling dragon picture. The two forces collided in the sky, creating a tsunami-like energy wave. The coiling dragon picture was blocked, and the five elements saint was also forced back. Whoosh! A dragon shadow appeared under Lin Xian's feet. He was extremely fast, and in an instant, he was near the five elements saint. You felt good when you sneak attacked me, right? Now, have a taste of my attack. The fourth seal on his ancient dragon abyss sword was undone, and an unbelievable sword chi burst out. No! The five elements saint screamed and instantly summoned his five clones to resist. However, this sword was truly too terrifying. His five clones were destroyed in an instant. His main body was also sent flying, vomiting blood. The five elements world was split into two by the sword. Another sword slashed out, and everyone felt their scalps go numb. They were scared out of their wits by this sword chi. The five elements saint screamed again and again. This time, one of his arms was chopped off. He wanted to escape, but at this moment, a golden light appeared in Lin Xian's eyes. A pair of cold golden eyes appeared in the sky. The five elements saint screamed. His soul seemed to have been ignited, and he rolled in the sky. His speed of escape also slowed down. Sky-piercing sword. The dragon sword shadow appeared on Lin Xian's body and enveloped him. He held the ancient dragon abyss sword in his hand, and the four seals were undone. He turned into a sharp sword light and flew out. Whoosh! Poof! All the light between heaven and earth dimmed, and only a sword light was left in the sky. At this moment, everyone stopped attacking. They turned their heads and stared blankly at the scene. With a poochie sound, blood splattered everywhere. No! The people from the five elements palace screamed. The people from the nine heavens sacred ground and the myriad thunder sacred ground gasped. This was because the five elements saint's head had been chopped off, and his corpse fell to the ground. However, the five elements saint was not dead. His head screamed and turned into a stream of light, trying to break through the void and escape. How could he escape? Lin Xian stretched out his hand, and the sun, moon, and stars revolved around him, sealing the entire space. In the next moment, he grabbed the five elements saint's head and brought it to his side. Then, he activated soul ignition and completely burned his soul into ashes. Whoosh! Lin Xian held the five elements saint's head with one hand and the ancient sword in the other. He swept it in all directions. Who else? If you want to die, come here. Stunned. Everyone was stunned. The people from the three sacred grounds were stunned. The people in the passageway were all trembling. Fear, infinite fear, spread throughout their bodies. That was the five elements saint, the top genius of the younger generation. The future master of the five elements holy land was actually killed by someone here. Is this kid still human? Demon King. He is definitely a demon king. In the future, they must not provoke him. Those people swallowed their saliva. The people from the three sacred grounds came back to their senses and roared crazily. Among them, the people from the five elements sacred ground kept screaming. The elders wailed, and their tears turned into a rain of blood that sprinkled all over the place. Chapter 25:16. Dead. Their holy son had been killed in front of everyone. His head was even in the other party's hand. This made them want to die. How were they going to explain it to the sacred ground when they returned? Kill him. You must kill him. The people of the five elements palace roared crazily. At this moment, they had lost their minds. Everyone's eyes were red, and their bodies were surrounded by a murderous aura as if they had turned into demons. The people of the nine heavens sacred ground were also roaring. They did not expect that apart from their holy son, even the five elements' holy son had been killed. This was definitely an earth-shattering earthquake. Although the people of the 10,000 thunder sacred ground were frightened, they were relieved. Fortunately, their holy son had been randomly teleported away by the black quicksand. Otherwise, he would probably be dead now. Therefore, at this moment, the elders of the 10,000 thunder sacred ground were secretly delighted. But soon, these people of the 10,000 thunder sacred ground were stunned and even frightened. Their faces were as black as the bottom of a pot. That was because in a passage next to them, a thunderous figure cut through the void and quickly arrived at the main hall. The 10,000 Thunder Holy Sun. This figure was the 10,000 Thunder Holy Sun. Previously, he had been randomly teleported away by the black quicksand, but he had finally returned. As soon as he appeared, the 10,000 Thunder Holy Sun released a sea of lightning that filled the entire sky. He roared coldly, "Damn brat, come and die." He was really mad. Before he could make a move, he had been teleported away. Moreover, the teleportation distance was very far. He had spent a lot of effort to rush back here. Therefore, he swore that he would join hands with the Five Elements' Holy Sun. He would torture him to death, but soon he was stunned, because he realized that no one responded. The entire main hall was silent. Everyone looked at him with a strange expression. The elders of the 10,000 Thunder Sacred Ground were even more furious. The people in the passage also swallowed their saliva. The 10,000 Thunder Holy Sun had come at this time. Wasn't he walking into a trap and dying in vain? Sure enough, the elders of the 10,000 Thunder Sacred Ground roared crazily. "Holy Sun, leave quickly. Leave quickly." They were about to go crazy. Previously, they were secretly delighted that their holy son was not here and could avoid a calamity. However, they did not expect that just as they finished speaking, their saint would charge over from afar. They had to quickly remind the chosen to leave. Otherwise, who knew what crazy things this kid would do? Leave quickly? What did he mean? The 10,000 Thunder Saint's son was stunned. He frowned. Why did these elders want him to escape? What did she mean by that? She didn't look up to him? He snorted coldly and turned to look at Lin Xian. His eyes were filled with murderous intent as he thought, "Damn brat, I will definitely." Before he could finish, he was stunned. He realized that Lin Xian was holding a head in his left hand. That head belonged to the Five Elements Saint. Damn it, what happened? The 10,000 Thunder Saint shuddered, and his heart almost jumped out of his chest. The Five Elements Saint's head was held in the other party's hand, and there was no sign of life. What was going on? Could it be that the Five Elements Saint was killed? Holy Sun, leave now. Seeing the 10,000 Thunder Sage in a daze, the 10,000 Thunder Sage's elders roared angrily again. At the same time, they rushed over crazily to protect the 10,000 Thunder Sage. The Five Elements Saint has been killed by this kid. Holy Sun, leave now. The elders roared again. What? He was really killed. The 10,000 Thunder Sage's pupil shrank, and his mind went blank. How could this be? The Five Elements Saint was a genius like him. How could anyone kill him? Even if other saints wanted to kill them, it would be very difficult. After all, everyone was of the same level and had many trump cards. Unless it was an invincible challenger or a peak 8-star. A late-stage 8-star powerhouse could defeat a saint, but it was impossible to kill him. Therefore, the 10,000 Thunder Sage did not believe it at all. Although the 9 Firmament Saint had been killed before, they did not think that it was Lin Xian who did it. They knew how difficult it was to kill a saint. They said that Lin Xian was the murderer to find an excuse to kill him. But now, the Five Elements Saint had been killed by him. He couldn't help but suspect that the 9th Firmament Saint might have been killed by the other party as well. Thinking of this, a trace of horror appeared in the 10,000 Thunder Sage's eyes. He did not dare to stay any longer and turned to escape. Brat, you just wait and see what happens this time. It won't end like this. Let's go. Of course, the 10,000 Thunder Sage did not want to admit that he had escaped, so he left a few words and left with his men. At least, he would not lose too much face. You want to leave? I think you'd better go to hell and accompany the Five Elements Saint. That way, the two of you won't be lonely on the road to hell. Lin Xian's murderous aura surged as he charged over again. Damn it! How dare you attack our saint? The elders of the 10,000 Thunder Sacred Ground roared crazily. Lin Xian waved his hand and threw the Five Elements Saint's head out. With a bang, it was blown up by the elders of the 10,000 Thunder Sacred Ground. Damn it! When the people of the Five Elements Palace saw this, their eyes turned red. They stared at Lin Xian with murderous aura. At the same time, They also stared at the elders of the 10,000 Thunder Sacred Ground. The elder of the 10,000 Thunder Sacred Ground hurriedly said, "Brothers of the Five Elements Palace, this has nothing to do with us. The Five Elements Saint was killed by this kid. We should join forces and take him down." "Take me down? Humph, you're already trying to escape. Do you want to drag the Five Elements Palace down with you?" Lin Xian began to sow discord. Sure enough, the people of the Five Elements Palace looked unfriendly. They stared at the 10,000 Thunder Sacred Ground with cold eyes. The people of the 9 Heavens Sacred Ground also walked out. The 10,000 Thunder Sacred Ground obviously wanted to retreat now because their saint had not been killed. However, the people of the Five Elements Palace and the 9 Heavens Sacred Ground were different. Their saint had been killed by the other party, but they still wanted to fight to the death with the other party. "Do you want to leave, 10,000 Thunder Sage?" The people of the Five Elements Palace gritted their teeth. The elder of the 10,000 Thunder Sacred Ground braced himself and said, "You've seen it too. This kid's strength is too terrifying. I think we should leave for the time being and think of a long-term plan. Otherwise, more people will die." As soon as these words came out, the faces of the people of the Five Elements Palace and the 9 Heavens Sacred Ground turned black. What a joke. How could they stop it this time? The murderous aura on their bodies became stronger and stronger. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He stared at the 10,000 Thunder Sage and said, "I've said it before. You can't escape." As he spoke, he raised his hand and slashed with his sword. A terrifying sword light slashed forward. "Get lost." The 10,000 Thunder Sage roared, and the elders were scared out of their wits. Bang! The 10,000 Thunder Sage's lightning palm was split open by the sword. Not only that, he felt that his entire arm was cracked. A sword wound appeared on his arm. Blood gushed out, and even his bones were exposed. Chapter 25:17. Damn it! How could his sword chi be so powerful? The 10,000 Thunder Saint's expression changed in an instant. He did not dare to fight back. After all, his opponent had killed the Five Elements Saint. He was afraid that his opponent's strength had surpassed his. Boom! The 10,000 Thunder Saint roared, and lightning intertwined in the sky, forming a sea of lightning. He turned around and left. However, he was still one step too late. Lin Xian waved his hand, and 108,000 golden swords quickly intertwined and cut off the 10,000 Thunder Saints' escape route. At the same time, the sky-reaching Divine Wood descended from the sky, trying to suppress him. Boom! The Divine Wood was like a giant pillar that crushed the void, tore apart the sea of lightning, and blasted the 10,000 Thunder Saints' body. The 10,000 Thunder Saint vomited blood and flew backward. All the bones in his body were shattered. He flew out for a long time before he stopped. Then, with a roar, lightning crackled all over his body, and all the broken bones were reborn again. "Damn kid, don't go too far." The 10,000 Thunder Saint roared crazily. He was a saint after all. How dare his opponent treat him like this? That drove him crazy. "What? You want the treatment of a saint? You want me to be respectful to you? Fine." Lin Xian sneered. "Then I'll invite you to die." He turned into a bolt of lightning and rushed out. The biting cold sword light shrouded the void and slashed forward. The Thunder God Bracelet. The 10,000 Thunder Saint was also angry. He opened his mouth and spat out a Thunder God Bracelet. It was covered with terrifying runes. It was one of his trump cards, called the Thunder God Bracelet. At this moment, the Thunder God Bracelet appeared in the air and whistled forward. Boom! In an instant, it shattered the sword light that filled the sky and erupted with an incomparably powerful lightning power. The Thunder God Bracelet was a trump card. It was said to be indestructible and could destroy everything. That brat surnamed Lin also walked the path of a firm and fierce cultivation method. Between the two of them, who would be the stronger one? The martial artists in the passage were discussing animatedly. They were somewhat looking forward to it. The 10,000 Thunder Saints' confidence also soared after his successful attack. From the looks of it, the other party was only us. Could it be that the other party had used the Saint's hand bone to kill the Five Elements Saint? Although he hadn't seen it, he didn't believe that the other party could kill a holy sun by relying on his own strength. In the next moment, he activated the lightning god's bracelet again and charged forward. Instantly, the surrounding sword chi was all sent flying. Ha 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 ha. You're just Today, I will avenge the 5 elements saint. The 10,000 lightning saint sun let out a long roar. Instead of running away, he attacked the holy sun. These elders were worried about the 10,000 thunder saint sun. They wanted to remind him to leave. However, Wanlei Shang still rushed over and fought with Lin Xian. Seeing this scene, the corners of Lin Xian's mouth curled into a strange smile. Great 5 elements seal. A cold voice came out of his mouth. Hearing this, everyone was shocked. What? Great seal of 5 elements? What was this kid talking about? He also knows the 5 elements great seal? Heavens, what kind of joke was this? The Great Seal of 5 Elements was the supreme secret technique of the 5 Elements Palace. Other than the 5 Elements Saint and a few of the elders, no one else could learn it. This kid is obviously not from the 5 Elements Palace. How could he know the Great Seal of 5 Elements? That's right. I think he's just trying to scare the 10,000 Thunder Saint Sun. Although that kid also knows the power of 5 elements, he can't use the Great Seal of 5 Elements. However, these people were soon stunned. This was because they found that the lightning god's bracelet was fixed in midair. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The lightning god's bracelet shone brightly, and countless lightning runes flashed on it. It was very terrifying. However, at this moment, it couldn't move at all. Not only that, but the 10,000 Thunder Saint Sun's body was also stiff, as if he had been enchanted. What? He was really sealed. How could this be? These people were so shocked that their eyes almost popped out of their sockets. The people of the 5 Elements Palace screamed. Whoosh! In front of him, a sword light slashed over and slashed the 10,000 Thunder Saint Sun, sending him flying. The 10,000 Thunder Saint Sun's armor was split open. Blood flowed out like a river of blood, dyeing the void red. Poof! He kept retreating. The 10,000 Thunder Saint Sun roared crazily. He was finally frightened. It was too terrifying. His opponent's strength was far beyond his imagination. He didn't dare to fight anymore. Revenge for the 5 elements Saint Sun could go to hell. He just wanted to take back the lightning god's bracelet and leave quickly. Boom! The lightning god's bracelet trembled, and endless lightning burst out like a vast sea, piercing through the surrounding void. Whoosh! It directly broke all the seals and rushed out. Lin Xian was surprised. He didn't expect the lightning god's bracelet to break through. He didn't expect the lightning god's bracelet to break through his seal so quickly. He simulated the great seal of 5 elements through the great dragon sword soul. Although it wasn't the real great seal of 5 elements, the effect of the seal was not weak at all. It seemed that the lightning god's bracelet was powerful enough to escape. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. The 10,000 Thunder Saint Sun heaved a sigh of relief. The lightning god's bracelet on his head turned around and fled. It turned into a flash of light and tore through the void. Just as he was about to escape, a divine dragon's tail slapped over and smashed half of his body. He was sent flying again and vomited blood. Who was it? The 10,000 Thunder Saint Sun roared. He was about to go crazy. It's me. The Crimson Dragon sneered. Your magic treasure is not bad. Leave it to Bin Huang. The Crimson Dragon's eyes lit up as he stared at the lightning god's bracelet. That was a good thing. The Crimson Dragon was very happy. Previously, he had snatched a Heaven Stage elementary treasure chi spear, and now he was eyeing the lightning god's bracelet. The Heaven Stage treasure chi spear had the sole imprint of a peerless powerhouse on it, but the Crimson Dragon had forcibly sealed it. After the battle, he would slowly erase it. At this moment, he grabbed a spear and stabbed it out. Between heaven and earth, thousands of spear lights shot forward like rainbows. Stinky snake, get lost. The 10,000 Thunder Saint Sun was furious. He waved the lightning god's bracelet to fight against it. A shocking collision sounded, but at this time, on the other side, Lin Xian also waved his long sword. He slashed the lightning god's bracelet with his sword. The crimson dragon roared and waved his dragon claws, which kept enlarging. Like a red mountain, he enveloped the lightning god's bracelet. Ha 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 ha. The lightning god's bracelet is mine. The crimson dragon laughed strangely. Ah. Seeing this scene, the 10,000 Thunder Saint Sun's expression changed. The elders of the 10,000 Thunder Saint Sun roared. Damn it! He put down the lightning god's bracelet. They attacked like crazy, trying to take back the lightning god's bracelet. However, they were all destroyed by Lin Xian's sword chi. A sword slashed across the sky, cutting off the connection between these people and the lightning god's bracelet. The crimson dragon grabbed it to the side, wanting to take it back. However, at this time, his expression changed, because a terrifying killing intent suddenly erupted from the lightning god's bracelet. It gushed out like a flood. Chapter 25:18. A terrifying killing intent suddenly burst out from the Thunder God bracelet. It gushed out like a flood. Damn it! The Crimson Dragon threw the Thunder God bracelet out in an instant. However, he was still affected. Bang! He was sent flying. A crack appeared on his dragon claw, and blood flowed out. Damn it! Ben Huang was in so much pain. The Crimson Dragon grimaced in pain and quickly drank all the dripping dragon blood. Its blood was very precious. It was unwilling to leave it for others to benefit. Lin Xian was also surprised. He knew that the Crimson Dragon's body was strong. Even a heaven-grade treasure might not be able to break it. But now, there was a crack. What exactly was that shocking killing intent? It was the killing intent of an invincible king. There was actually the killing intent of an invincible king in the Thunder God bracelet. The Crimson Dragon cried out, "Damn it! How dare you trick Ben Huang?" What? The killing intent of an invincible king. No wonder. The people in the passage also understood. Indeed, they had seen the strength of the Crimson Dragon before, but they did not expect this killing intent to be the killing intent of an invincible king. An invincible king was a terrifying existence that they looked up to. A single glance could kill a peerless almighty. It could be said that it was extremely terrifying. The people of the myriad Thunder Holy Land had gloomy faces, and the myriad Thunder Holy Sun's face was even colder. Damn it, they couldn't kill him. They were too surprised. As these people knew, the killing intent of an invincible king could easily kill a peerless almighty. However, the other party didn't die. It was only a crack on his claw. This kind of injury was nothing to people of their level. Kid, be careful. This Thunder God bracelet is too damn evil. The dragon blood on the Crimson Dragon surged, and the crack on his claw was healed. Lin Xian's expression was extremely solemn. He did not expect that the Thunder God bracelet would contain the killing intent of a king. This was definitely something that could threaten his life. However, what puzzled him was that if there was such a terrifying killing weapon, why didn't the other party directly use it before? If that was the case, perhaps his injuries would be even more severe. Could it be that the killing intent of an invincible king couldn't be triggered? He could only use it passively? Lin Xian's eyes shone with a cold light. He felt more and more that it was possible. Moreover, he guessed that invincible kings wouldn't have too much killing intent. Otherwise, the 10,000 Thunder Saint would not have escaped. The elders of the 10,000 Lightning Holy Land would not be so nervous. Thinking of this, the corner of his mouth raised into a cold smile. If that was the case, then things would be much easier. Humph, it's just a strand of the killing intent of an invincible king. You want to kill me? You guys are too naive. Lin Xian attacked again. What? This brat actually dared to resist the killing intent of an invincible king? Was he tired of living? Could it be that he still had some sort of trump card to rely on? The martial artists in the passageway discussed animatedly. As for the people from the 10,000 Lightning Holy Land, their faces darkened. Damn it! The 10,000 Thunder Saint waved his hand and controlled the Thunder God bracelet to rush out. Brat, you are too arrogant and ignorant. Today, I will let you know the power of an invincible king's killing intent. Sure enough, between heaven and earth, a terrifying killing intent circulated, piercing through the 9 heavens and 10 earths. Everyone trembled and crawled on the ground. Lin Xian also felt a great crisis. Countless sword lights surrounded his body, forming a dragon sword phantom that roared in the void. It fought against the killing intent of an invincible king. There was a loud rumble. Heaven and earth trembled, and Lin Xian retreated with a trace of blood flowing from the corner of his mouth. Seeing this, the 10,000 Thunder Saint laughed wildly. "Did you see that, brat? An ignorant ant like you dares to compete with an invincible king? A wisp of killing intent can destroy you. What are you so arrogant for? Even if you hurt me, it was the power of an invincible king, not your power. I really don't know where you get your arrogance from." Lin Xian wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, and his eyes became brighter and brighter. "It's just a wisp of killing intent, not the true body of an invincible king. Do you really think you can kill me? So what if you're an invincible king? Next, I'll let you have a taste of the pressure of a sage." Lin Xian tore another corner of the sage's seal. Boom! A force that swept across heaven and earth surged out, and the killing intent of an invincible king was swallowed up like a boat in a storm. Damn it! This scene made the people of the 10,000 Thunder Sacred Ground roar crazily. The people of the 9 Heavens Sacred Ground and 5 Elements Palace also retreated to resist the pressure of the sage. But fortunately, this time, Lin Xian only tore it for a short while and then sealed it again. This made everyone breathe a sigh of relief. The people of the 10,000 Thunder Sacred Ground were gloomy. The killing intent of an invincible king in their Thunder God bracelet had been obliterated. Even if there was a wisp left, it was very little and couldn't exert its power at all. Ha 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 ha. The killing intent of an invincible king is nothing in front of a sage. The Crimson Dragon sneered arrogantly. "Keep acting tough. Come and kill Ben Huang. Let's see if your invincible killing intent can still work." Lin Xian also brandished his sword and charged forward. The ancient dragon abyss sword turned into a giant sword and slashed down from the sky, crushing the void. It slashed on the Thunder God bracelet. With a boom, the Thunder God bracelet was sent flying again. At the same time, the sharp sword light slashed toward the 9 Heavens Saint. The 9 Heavens Saint's face changed drastically. He knew how powerful the sword chi was. If even the Thunder God bracelet couldn't resist it, he was afraid that his body wouldn't be able to resist it. So, he quickly retreated. At the same time, he controlled the Thunder God bracelet to float above his head to resist. However, the power of the great dragon sword soul was beyond his imagination. If he still had the killing intent of an invincible king, he might be able to resist it. But now, the Thunder God bracelet alone couldn't resist at all. Sure enough, after 3 slashes, the Thunder God bracelet was sent flying again. The 4th slash cut the 10,000 Thunder Saint in half. The elders of the 10,000 Thunder Sacred Ground went crazy. They went crazy and even burned their spiritual power. They rushed forward crazily, trying to save the 10,000 Thunder Saint. Half of them rushed toward the 10,000 Thunder Saint, while the other half crazily attacked Lin Xian. All kinds of secret techniques and treasures were thrown out desperately. Lin Xian didn't resist. His body shook and quickly retreated into the distance. This is great. After saving the saint, the people of the 10,000 Thunder Sacred Ground breathed a sigh of relief. Boom, boom, boom. The 10,000 Thunder Saint's broken body was also reassembled. His face was pale and full of horror. Damn it! Run! Run! He didn't dare to stay here any longer. 6 or 7 elders gathered around him, and there were many disciples of the 10,000 Thunder Sacred Ground around him to protect him. The group of people quickly retreated. Lin Xian didn't chase after them. Instead, he sneered. Mysterious golden patterns appeared in his eyes. Not good. It's a soul power attack. Saint, quickly defend. The elders of the 10,000 Thunder Sacred Ground shouted crazily. They used all their soul defense treasures to cover the 10,000 Thunder Saint. Chapter 25:19. The elders of the 1,000 Thunder Sacred Land shouted frantically. They covered the 1,000 Thunder Sacred Sun with their soul defense magic treasures. The 1,000 Thunder Sacred Sun even activated his magic treasure. The opponent's soul power was no weaker than the sword chi. In fact, it was even weirder. Therefore, they didn't dare to be careless. They didn't expect that Lin Xian's soul power attack wasn't aimed at the Thousand Thunder Sacred Sun. Instead, it was aimed at an elder next to the Thousand Thunder Sacred Sun. This elder was very close to the Thousand Thunder Sacred Sun, just to his left. Moreover, just now, this elder even gave his soul defense magic treasure to the Thousand Thunder Sacred Sun. It could be said that there was no defense at all. It had to be said that these elders were really dutiful. They would rather have their souls destroyed to protect the Thousand Thunder Sacred Sun. However, this also gave Lin Xian a chance. Lin Xian didn't use soul ignition. He used another magic power, divine guidance. It was a kind of controlling eye technique. In other words, it could temporarily control someone's soul, and thus that person. Lin Xian's current soul power was so powerful that it had surpassed that of a peerless almighty. Coupled with the heavenly secret divine eyes, although the opponent's elder was also a peerless almighty, he was still controlled in an instant. A strange light appeared in his eyes, and his body was out of control. A long saber appeared in his hand, and then he slashed at the Thousand Thunder Sacred Sun. He raised his hand, and the saber fell. The Thousand Thunder Sacred Sun was split in half, and blood spurted out. What's going on? The Thousand Thunder Sacred Sun was split in half. What happened? Everyone was stunned. Could it be that Lin Xian made a move again? No. Who was it? It was the elder of the Thousand Thunder Sacred Land. The martial artists in the surrounding passageways went crazy. Not to mention them, the people of the Five Elements Palace and the Nine Heavens Sacred Land were also stunned. Those of the Thousand Thunder Sacred Land were even crazier. Damn it, what are you doing? The people next to him hurriedly sent the elder flying with a palm strike. The elder's bones were broken, and half of his body turned into a bloody mist. He screamed miserably and flew out, smashing through the void. However, the pain also woke him up from the illusion. When he found out what he had done, he screamed like a madman. No, damn it, that wasn't my intention. I'm being controlled. However, the people from the 10,000 Lightning Holy Land reacted as if they were facing a great enemy and refused to allow them to approach. On the other side, the 10,000 Thunder Saint screamed crazily. He didn't expect to be struck by his own people. This caused his injuries to worsen. Fortunately, although he was seriously injured, it was not fatal. His body slowly healed. However, right at this moment, an ice-cold voice sounded from behind him. Do you still want to recover? Go to hell and accompany the Five Elements Saint. No. The 10,000 Thunder Holy Sun roared crazily. Save me! The elders of the 10,000 Thunder Holy Land went crazy. They wanted to save him. However, it was already too late. During the chaos just now, Lin Xian showed his extreme speed and arrived behind the 10,000 Thunder Saint. A dragon-shaped sword shadow condensed in his hand. With a slash, the great dragon sword spirit annihilated everything, directly destroying the opponent's mind and spirit. Boom! The 10,000 Thunder Saint's body, which had not yet recovered, exploded again and turned into a bloody mist. This time, not even his bones were left. He turned into a rain of blood, scattering in all directions. That soul was also destroyed by the piercingly cold sword light. The great dragon sword spirit was unparalleled. The 10,000 Thunder Saint was killed. Heavens! Everyone was going crazy. This was the third holy sun that had fallen. Although the ancient tomb was dangerous before, no holy sun had fallen. But who would have thought that 3 holy suns would fall in succession? Moreover, they were not killed by the powerful array formation in the ancient tomb. They were killed by a young man with great power. It's over. Great earthquake. It was definitely a great earthquake. The 3 holy lands would probably go crazy and hunt them down regardless of everything. Sure enough, the 10,000 Thunder Saints screamed crazily. They began to burn their spiritual power, and their murderous aura was monstrous. At this moment, they could kill gods and Buddhas. Not only the 10,000 Thunder Saint, but also the Five Elements Palace and the Nine Heavens Holy Land. At this moment, they also attacked recklessly. They sealed off all directions. They swore to kill the other party. Lin Xian waved his hand, and Ruzalong quickly came in. He raised his hand and summoned the Black Earth, and the two of them entered. At the same time, Lin Xian completely tore open the seal of the saint's hand bone. Suddenly, a terrifying force surged out and flooded the entire space. Oh no, run. The people in the passage were so scared that their scalps went numb. They turned around and fled. In an instant, they were enveloped by the saint's pressure. They turned into a large bloody mist. Only some experts were able to escape. However, their bodies were also shattered. Only one of their heads remained intact and reassembled in the distance. Their faces were filled with horror. Hurry up and leave. These people did not dare to stay any longer, and they did not want to know how the battle was going. The saint's pressure was too terrifying. Damn it. Was that kid crazy? How could he resist this power? Could it be that he wanted to die together with them? These people were terrified as they fled. In the main hall, the people from the three holy lands screamed again and again. They did not expect that the other party would dare to activate the saint's pressure. Previously, although they were terrified by the saint's hand bone, their lives were not threatened, because they knew that the other party did not dare to go all out. Otherwise, it would be difficult for the other party to survive. But now, the other party had gone all out. Why? They could not understand. In an instant, many elders and geniuses were pierced by the saint's pressure. Their bodies split open in the sky and turned into a bloody mist. It was sad and beautiful, but it made people despair. Hurry up and recall our land tokens. The elders of the three holy lands roared as if they had gone mad. An immortal palace floated over, and the door opened, storing the remaining people inside. A purple lightning pool descended, spreading terrifying lightning, and also enveloping the remaining elders of the myriad thunder holy land. In the sky, the five elements flag rolled and enveloped the surviving people of the five elements palace. These three magic treasures had been resisting the saint's hand bone previously, so they could not use them. But now, the saint's hand bone had completely erupted, and they could not resist it. They quickly used these three magic treasures to protect the remaining people and prevent them from being killed. The remaining people had all gone into hiding. In the space, there was only the saint's pressure and the sea of blood that filled the sky. Although the people of the three holy lands had used their super trump cards, only a small number of people survived. About 1/5 of them. The rest of them were all killed. Moreover, even if they hid in their trump cards, they still suffered a fierce impact. The three magic treasures kept retreating, swaying in the sky. On the other side, inside the Black Earth, Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon heaved a sigh of relief. They looked outside through the light screen. When they saw that the three holy lands had suffered heavy losses, the two of them laughed. Chapter 25:20. The Crimson Dragon sneered. You let these guys chase us. Now you know what it's like. But it's a pity that we didn't kill them all. It's already very good to be able to do this. It's impossible to kill them all. If we hadn't used the hand bone to block their three magic treasures, I'm afraid it would have been very difficult to kill the five elements saint and the thousand thunder saint. Lin Xian said in a deep voice. The Black Earth kept swaying in the sky, also suffering a strong impact. However, this was a super spirit ship. Although the impact was fierce, it couldn't be broken at all. Therefore, Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon weren't worried. They stabilized their bodies in midair and quickly communicated with each other. Lin Xian frowned. I'm very curious. Who killed the 9 firmament saint? You really didn't do it? The Crimson Dragon asked. Lin Xian shook his head. That's strange. That guy had the immortal palace. It seemed that this immortal palace could withstand the pressure of a saint. However, the 9 firmament saint was killed. What kind of method was this? Could it be that there were others who had the saint's magic treasures? Boy, be careful. Those who came in this time were all extremely terrifying people. There were even existences like the Saint Physique. Who knew if there were any mysterious people hiding here? For example, the Yi family and the Yaoguang Sacred Land both had imitations of extreme weapons. If the power was fully unleashed, it would be extremely terrifying. It was not inferior to the pressure of a saint. Perhaps there was another reason. Lin Xian said in a deep voice. What was the reason? The Crimson Dragon asked. A mole. Lin Xian's eyes flickered. Remember when I used divine attraction to injure the Thousand Thunder Saint? They couldn't react at all. Even if the Thousand Thunder Saint was heavily protected, I still succeeded. Therefore, a mole was the most difficult to guard against. You mean, someone inside the Nine Firmament Sacred Land killed the Nine Firmament Saint? The dark red divine dragon sucked in a breath of cold air. What was he after? The Nine Firmament Saint's death was a great shock. Even if these people returned alive, they would be punished by the Holy Land. The Holy Land would definitely not let them off easily. What if the death of the Ninth Firmament Saint was beneficial to that person? For example, he could become the new son of Saint. You're saying that it was done by a successor candidate. The Crimson Dragon instantly understood. Indeed, the position of the Holy Son was very coveted. However, the Holy Son was usually very powerful and had a lot of support. It was impossible for others to plot against him. However, if a Holy Son was seriously injured and his whereabouts were unknown, then it was a different story. If he could quietly get rid of the other saints, there was a possibility that the other saints would become the next generation of saints. Then he would have the chance to become the future master of the Holy Land. To everyone, this was another form of temptation. Even the inner members of the Nine Heavens' holy ground would do something like this. After all, the human heart was the most vicious. Forget it. This matter has nothing to do with me. Let them fight each other. It would be best if they were torn apart. Lin Xian sneered. He prepared to take back the saint's hand bone and leave. Forming a seal with his palms, Lin Xian cast a few seals and floated out of the black earth. He flew forward, wanting to seal it again. However, this time, he frowned. What's going on? The seal has failed. Lin Xian frowned. The Crimson Dragon was also puzzled. It shouldn't be. Let me try. He waved his dragon claws and cast a few seals. However, this time, he also failed. F***CK. What's going on? Could it be that the seal can't work? Xiao Xuanzi, how big of a seal did you tear? It's not too big. It's the same as before, 3 seals. Previously, when Lin Xian fought against the battle tribes Zhan Wuhan, he tore this kind of seal. At that time, he also successfully resealed the saint's hand bone. But now, he realized that he couldn't reseal it. This was too unbelievable. When he fought against Zhan Wuhan, he was only an early-stage 7-star king. Now, he was already a mid-stage 7-star king. His strength and cultivation had undergone earth-shattering changes. It could be said that it should be easier to seal it. But now, he realized that it was not like that at all. Oh no, this is strange. Something must have gone wrong. Damn it, this ancient tomb is too sinister. The Crimson Dragon was also scared. He had a feeling that this ancient tomb was definitely not simple. Now, the saint's hand bone was very likely because of the ancient tomb. Sure enough, as soon as he finished speaking, the seal on the saint's hand bone outside was broken again. Even more terrifying pressure swept across the area. This time, not only the entire hall, but the surrounding passageways and the distant space were all affected. Oh no! The black earth was instantly sent flying. Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon's blood was also boiling. In addition, the martial artists of the 3 holy lands in the Immortal Palace, the Lightning Sea, and the 5 element flags were so scared that their scalps went numb. They could no longer care about anything else and quickly retreated. They turned into a stream of light and tore the void apart. Lin Xian did not leave. He stared at the saint's hand bone. Now, he could also leave safely. However, he still had to seal the hand bone. So, he stayed here. Crack, crack, crack. At this moment, the surrounding void quickly shattered, and black holes appeared one after another and spread in all directions. Oh no, it's this situation again. Seeing this scene, Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon's expressions changed. At this moment, not only them, but all the martial artists in the ancient tomb exclaimed. These people were scattered in all directions. Some were fighting for treasures, some were killing, and some were resisting the array formation. At this moment, without exception, cracks appeared in the void around them. This scene was extremely similar because not long ago, they found that there were 99 heads of invincible kings in the bronze cauldron. Then, the void shattered, and they were teleported in all directions. Now, the same thing was happening. Damn it, what's happening? These people screamed crazily. Could it be that someone else found the 99 heads of invincible kings? In the Yi family, Yi Wudao frowned. In the wavering light's sacred ground, the wavering light saint's eyes flickered. The 108 godly demon halos around his body protected him. Could it be that there was something similar to the bronze cauldron and the 99 heads in the ancient tomb? Not only them, but Gu Santong, Wu Hua, Morong Qingqing, Xin Jingqiu, Xing Tian, and all the other experts were stunned. In the next moment, they were swallowed by the black hole and could not resist at all. On Lin Xian's side, the black earth was also swallowed by the black hole. Damn it! Lin Xian roared and used his last chance to cast another set of seals and float out. He did not know what happened next. The world spun and the surroundings were dark. After an unknown period of time, light finally appeared. This is? Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon hurriedly looked outside. They saw that the outside was incomparably vast and boundless. What is that place? Is it another strange space? The Crimson Dragon was shocked. Chapter 25-21. Is it another strange space? The Crimson Dragon was surprised. Lin Xian shook his head. No, look at the ground below. It's exactly the same as the ground of the palaces in the ancient tomb. It's filled with a desolate aura. I think we should still be in the ancient tomb. I guess that this should also be a large hall. It's just that the hall is too spacious, and I couldn't see anything at all. Damn it, we've been teleported again. Could it be that the bone of the saint has triggered some mechanism in the ancient tomb? That's possible. Lin Xian nodded. The Crimson Dragon's mouth twitched. Xiao Xuanzi, do you think the pressure emitted by the bone of the saint has triggered the corpse of the saint? Don't talk nonsense. Hearing this, Lin Xian was so scared that his scalp went numb. They couldn't even resist a wisp of the saint's pressure. If the ancient saint buried in the ancient tomb was resurrected or his corpse mutated, all of them would be finished. Not to mention the clan of the ancients, the peerless sacred grounds, or even the black earth, they couldn't do anything. The saint was too far away from them. One look from the saint could probably kill all of them. The Crimson Dragon was also shocked by his own thoughts. Impossible. He's been dead for tens of thousands of years. It's impossible for him to be resurrected. Suddenly, the Crimson Dragon exclaimed, "Kid, the bone of the saint is back." Sure enough, they discovered that on the floor of the black earth, there was a white bone of a hand lying quietly. At this moment, the bone of the saint was sealed again. Great. Seeing this scene, Lin Xian breathed a sigh of relief. He waved his hand, and the bone of the saint floated into his hand. It's indeed sealed. He was worried that they would be teleported away. What would happen to the bone of the saint? Wouldn't they lose it? He didn't expect it to come back on its own. This is very strange. Don't move. Let's see where we are first. In the sky, spatial cracks appeared, and figures appeared one after another. It seemed that other than Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon, the others had also been teleported to the vast and boundless hall. More and more people appeared, and as soon as they appeared, they began to shine with boundless light as they formed a protective barrier. Then, he looked around in bewilderment. What was that? When they saw the black spirit boat floating in the sky, they all looked as if they were facing a formidable enemy. With a flash of light, the spirit boat disappeared. Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon appeared in the void. It was that brat. These people were shocked. They didn't expect it to be Lin Xian. We were teleported here as well. Lin Xian said indifferently. He didn't want to start a war for no reason. These people heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed that the other party had been teleported here just like them. Damn it! What was going on? What happened? These people discussed animatedly. They didn't know that it was caused by Lin Xian's saint's handbone. Otherwise, these people would have gone up and fought Lin Xian to the death. Young master, Xing Tian also teleported over. He immediately took a step forward and arrived beside Lin Xian. Other than him, elderly, Elder Lu, Elder Wang, Peacock, Hu Yidao, and the others all rushed over from all directions. Elder Brother Xian, Murong Qingqing also came. Lin Xian, Elder Brother, Xin Jingqiu ran over cheering. Lin Xian hugged the two of them in his arms and asked with concern, "Are the two of you injured?" Seeing this scene, the others were envious and jealous. F***CK. This is the pinnacle of life. That damn brat. How dare he show off his love on the spot? Someone go and destroy him. The sound of gnashing teeth could be heard. Boom. They stopped talking because a golden figure was teleported out of the sky. This person was tall and had a golden body. He was exuding vitality like an ancient demon god. Yi Wudao. Why do I feel that his aura has become stronger again? Heavens, did this saint physique obtain some heaven-defying opportunity and breakthrough? Everyone screamed in fear. The saints and saintesses also looked as if they were facing a great enemy. Indeed, they felt that Yi Wudao's aura was much stronger than before. Moreover, it wasn't his full strength. It was just the aura that he occasionally emitted when he stood there casually. He had broken through. The four symbols saints clenched their fists. It was unbelievable that he had broken through a small realm in such a short time. The saintess of the illusion palace's eyes also flickered. As expected of a saint physique, he actually had such a great opportunity. A prince of the Ninely dynasty was also very envious. After Yi Wudao appeared, he stood in the void and looked around. Soon, he saw Lin Xian and greeted him with a smile. Lin Xian also responded. Behind Leaf Dao Denier, the other elders and experts of the Yi clan hurried over to join him. After him, the Alcade Saint also arrived, and the light on his body became even brighter. Why do I feel that the Alcade Saint's aura is even stronger than before? After the Alcade Saint appeared, he also looked around. The light on his body was so bright that no one could see his expression clearly. Only his eyes were like divine lamps. Powerful figures arrived one after another. Among them, there was a handsome man in a green robe. He was handsome like a banished immortal. He was the Taishian saint of the Taishian sacred ground. As soon as he appeared, the light on his body quickly disappeared, and he looked like an ordinary person. Everyone glanced at him and didn't pay attention to him, because his aura seemed to be slightly weaker than the Alcade Saint and Yi Wudao. More and more people gathered. Among them, people from the Nine Heavens Sacred Ground, Five Elements Palace, and 10,000 Thunder Sacred Ground had all arrived. However, these people didn't know what had happened. Otherwise, they wouldn't be so calm. Among them, there was a man in the Nine Heavens Sacred Grounds crowd. His eyes were shining, and he looked very excited. When he looked up and saw Lin Xian in the sky, he immediately sneered. "Kid, let's see how you'll die later." He was a candidate of the Nine Heavens Sacred Emperor. Previously, he had done something big. If this matter spread, he believed that it would definitely shock everyone. Moreover, no one would suspect him. Everyone would suspect Lin Xian. In this way, not only did he benefit from it, but he also framed others. It could be said that he had killed many birds with one stone. Around them, where exactly was this place? The others were discussing it. Those elders also gathered together and began to quickly discuss the matter. Boom, boom. However, at this moment, the sky split open again, and three powerful auras came over. As soon as the auras appeared, the void collapsed. Everyone's hair stood on end, and they retreated crazily. Some of the martial artists who retreated too slowly were directly sent flying. Damn it! Who is it? There's danger. Hurry up and defend. Cries of alarm sounded one after another. Everyone was on guard, but when they saw the attackers, they were stunned. In the sky, three black holes appeared. An immortal palace floated, and a lightning pool spread out. A five elements flag swayed in the sky. The three artifacts appeared in the sky. They didn't attack, but the aura that they emitted casually sent those people flying. Heavens! So powerful. This was the trump card of the Five Elements Palace, 10,000 Thunder Sacred Ground, and 9 Heavens Sacred Emperor. Why did they use it? What happened to them? Everyone was discussing. Chapter 25-22. The people from the myriad Thunder Sacred Ground, nine heavens sacred ground, and five elements palace were also stunned. They quickly flew up to welcome them. They're here. Below them, the saint from the nine heavens sacred ground sneered. Whoosh! In the sky, the immortal palace opened, and 7 or 8 elders walked out. They were not staggering, but their faces were pale and there was blood on their bodies. It was a shocking sight. What happened? The elites from the nine heavens sacred ground who came to welcome them saw this scene, and their hearts beat wildly. They had a bad premonition. Could it be that they had encountered a killing array in the ancient tomb? The others were also puzzled. The people from the five elements palace and 10,000 thunder sacred ground became nervous. Even the nine heavens sacred ground elder who came out of the immortal palace was injured. Then, would the people from the lightning pool and five elements palace be affected as well? Sure enough, when the people from the lightning pool and five elements palace walked out, they were also stunned. Because these people's auras were weak, and their eyes were red. Their killing intent was shocking, and their bodies were covered in a bloody light. What happened? They asked, and the others also watched with wide eyes. But in the next moment, they were stunned. Because the elders of the 3 sacred grounds were crying together. They were crying like crazy. It was as if they were newborn children. Heavens, what's going on? Are these elders in a daze? A peerless almighty expert was actually crying? These people couldn't believe their eyes. The elites from the 3 sacred grounds who came to welcome them were also stunned. What happened? Their hearts were beating faster and faster. It seemed that the situation was more serious than they had imagined. Wait, where's the saint? Where's the saint? The people from the 3 sacred grounds finally reacted. So many elites had come, and the others seemed to have arrived as well. Only the saints of the 3 sacred grounds were missing. Could it be that the saints of their sacred grounds were trapped by some kind of array? Our holy son has been killed. The people from the 5 elements palace were the first to scream. What? This voice was like a bolt from the blue, and the elites from the 5 elements palace fainted on the ground. The others also cried out in surprise, not daring to believe their own ears. The 5 elements saint was killed? Heavens, that's impossible. I don't believe it. What a joke. Who dared to attack the 5 elements saint? Who could kill the 5 elements saint? Everyone was discussing it. In the crowd, the saint from the 9 heavens sacred ground. What's going on? He was stunned. He was waiting for news. He knew that the saint of the 9 firmaments had been killed. If this news came out, it would definitely shock the world. However, the 5 elements saint had actually been killed. Heavens, was he the one who killed the 9 firmament saint? Why was the 5 elements saint killed as well? What exactly happened? He didn't know. The other saints and saintesses also frowned. Yi Wudao, the Alcade Holy Son, and the Prince of the Grand Xia all had grave expressions on their faces. Murong Qingsheng and the others were also puzzled. Lin Xian coldly snorted. As expected, these people still came out alive. Our holy son has also been killed. We won't be able to answer to the Holy Land. The elders of the 9 heavens sacred ground and the myriad thunder sacred ground screamed in agony. Their faces were filled with despair. The people from the other 2 holy lands were also stunned when they heard the news. The 3 holy sons had all been killed. The countless experts, holy sons, and holy daughters in the hall were all dumbfounded at this moment. To be honest, when they first heard that the 5 elements saint had been killed, they didn't believe it. However, when they thought about it carefully, it wasn't impossible. Although the 5 elements saint was powerful, he was only average among all the holy sons. If there was a powerful holy son with enough trump cards, it wasn't impossible for him to kill the 5 elements saint alone. However, no one was willing to kill a holy son and offend a holy land. Therefore, at first, they suspected that it might be some itinerant cultivator or a lunatic like the twin kings of Middle Ground. However, when they heard that the 9 heavens saint and the myriad thunder saint had also been killed, they couldn't accept it. They couldn't accept it. What a joke. The death of a holy son might be an accident. However, 3 holy sons had died together. What was going on? Could it be that they had encountered a peerless killing array in the ancient tomb? Their hearts beat wildly. After all, this was the ancient tomb of a holy son. There were some things left behind that they couldn't resist at all. For example, if the 99 heads of the invincible kings were released, not to mention 3 holy sons, even 30 holy sons wouldn't be able to resist it. The people from the 3 holy lands were too unlucky. Could it be that they had encountered a peerless killing array at the same time? The others discussed animatedly. The 9 heaven saints' face was also gloomy. How could there be such a coincidence? Well, it'll help me cover it up. However, that kid got off easy. He looked at Lin Xian. The eyes of the holy sons and holy daughters of the other holy lands flickered. The powerhouses of the 3 holy lands hurriedly asked, "Damn it, what did you say? How could our holy son be killed? What's going on? What's going on? Tell us. Who killed our holy son? Could it be that it was really a peerless killing array in the ancient tomb?" It wasn't a peerless killing array. The elders of the 3 holy lands went crazy. They looked around. Then, they stared in a direction. The surviving elders roared and pointed forward. "It's him. It's that kid. He was the one who killed our holy son." What? It wasn't a killing array? It was killed by someone? Who was it? Was it really the twin kings of Middle Ground? These people went crazy. They followed the fingers of the 3 holy lands elders and looked into the distance. Along the way, those martial artists who were pointed in the direction instantly dodged. Even the elders and holy sons also dodged. Their scalps went numb. What kind of joke was this? They didn't kill any holy son, and they didn't want to be the scapegoat. Therefore, in an instant, everyone ran away faster than rabbits. However, there was a group of people who didn't dodge. They were the people of Immortal Palace. Everyone looked in that direction. When they saw Lin Xian and the powerhouses of Immortal Palace, their scalps went numb. They weren't the twin kings of Middle Ground, but the people of Immortal Palace. Could it be that the powerhouses of Immortal Palace killed the 3 holy sons? But that shouldn't be the case. No matter how powerful the powerhouses of Immortal Palace were, they couldn't compete with the 3 holy lands. After all, if the 3 holy lands joined forces, even a clan of the ancients like the Yi family would have a headache, let alone Immortal Palace. For a moment, countless eyes fell on Lin Xian and the others. Among them, Shen Jingqiu, Murong Qingqing, and the others were also stunned. Peacock, Hu Yidao, and the others were also confused. The martial artists of Immortal Palace were even more stunned. Elder Li, Elder Wang, and Elder Lu were stunned as well. Xing Tian shouted coldly, "Nonsense." Elder Li also stood out. "If you want to fight, we'll accompany you. But don't use such unnecessary excuses. We're not afraid of fighting you." The other 2 elders stood out. They were emitting powerful auras. The martial artists of Immortal Palace behind them also had cold expressions. What a joke. How dare they slander them? They wouldn't take the blame. That was why they couldn't just stand by and watch. But now, the other party had actually admitted to it. This made them feel as though they had no justification for their actions. "Humph." Lin Xian spoke again. "But I didn't kill the 9 firmament saint's son. I don't know who killed that unlucky guy. But if you people from the 9 firmament holy lands want to put the blame on me, I don't mind. Anyway, killing one more or one less doesn't make a difference to me." No difference? The corners of everyone's mouths twitched. You killed a saint. Do you think you're chopping cabbage? At this moment, everyone was dumbfounded. They really couldn't understand what had happened. How could the other party kill 3 saints in a row? The martial artists from the 3 holy lands who didn't know the truth were furious when they heard this. All of them were filled with murderous intent. "Damn brat. Kneel down and accept your death. Kill him. You must kill him. Avenge our saints." Originally, they didn't believe that their saints had been killed. But now, it seemed that their 3 saints might really have been killed. Moreover, the murderer was the person in front of them. The elders of the 3 holy lands were trembling with anger. Good, good, good. Brat, you've got guts. You actually dared to admit it. In that case, kneel down and accept your death. Not only you. None of the people from the Immortal Palace will live. I want all of you to have a taste of living a life worse than death. Killing intent filled the air. The people from the three holy lands were like killing gods as they surrounded Lin Xian and everyone from Immortal Palace. Elder Brother Xian, Elder Brother Lin Xian, Murong Qingqing and Shun Jingqiu were extremely nervous. The others also frowned. Of course, there were also many people who sneered. They thought that Lin Xian and the Immortal Palace were too arrogant. They actually dared to kill the saints. They deserved to die. Immortal Palace's side was also furious. The other party was actually so overbearing. Even if their palace master killed these holy children, so what? Did they really think that the Immortal Palace was easy to bully? They didn't think that Lin Xian would kill these people for no reason. Lin Xian must have his reasons for killing the three saints. They also knew that the three saints weren't good people. They had targeted their palace master more than once. Sure enough, Lin Xian said in a deep voice, I killed them because they deserve to die. If you don't agree with me, feel free to attack. I'll take it. Lin Xian wasn't afraid. At most, he would tear the saint's hand bone. He didn't believe that these people could resist. Don't talk nonsense with him. Kill. The elders of the 9 heavens holy lands, 5 elements palace, and 1,000 thunder holy lands roared. Countless figures charged over. Attack. Xing Tian and elderly roared as well. The people from the Immortal Palace all attacked. A great battle broke out. Chapter 25-24. Hearing that, Murong Qingcheng heaved a sigh of relief. Shin Jingqiu also said, Granny Qian, you said it yourself. You have to help later. On the other side, Yu Wudao, Wu Hua, and the others' eyes also flickered. Although they also wanted to help, the current situation was simply too complicated. They did not dare to act rashly. However, they also decided that they would definitely help at the critical moment. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He was going to take out the Black Earth and shoot them a few times. He would kill a few peerless almighties first. However, before he could make a move, Elderly roared from the side. Are you comparing numbers? You're too naive. Buzz. Elderly waved his sleeve and scattered 10,000 rays of light. The surrounding people were surprised because they could see that the 10,000 rays of light were actually hundreds and thousands of beans. Each one of them was like a golden bean floating in the sky. What kind of divine ability was that? Or was it a Dharma treasure? The surrounding people were shocked. They did not know what the other party was doing. The people from the 3 holy lands sneered disdainfully. A mere bean was enough to make them cower? What a joke. They had to kill the other party until not a single one was left alive. However, they were soon stunned. In fact, his expression had even become extremely ugly. The crowd uttered cries of astonishment. Heavens! What kind of divine ability was that? Everyone was stupefied because the golden bean was trembling in the sky. Then, they suddenly enlarged and turned into many figures. The world trembled rapidly, and the void cracked, unable to withstand the energy. 1, 2, 3, hundreds and thousands of figures appeared in the sky. As soon as these people appeared, they roared in the void. The energy sound waves caused the blood of the surrounding people to churn. The surrounding martial artists retreated. The elders of the Holy Land stared at the scene in front of them. They sucked in a breath of cold air because the figures that appeared in front of them were truly too strange. They looked like humans, but their lower bodies were the tails of snakes. They held long sabers, spears, and spears in their hands. Terrifying killing intent swept in all directions. What was that? Puppet mechanisms? The martial artists discussed animatedly. The people from the 3 holy lands were also stunned. One of the young men sneered. They were just puppets. How could they compete with us? He was really courting death. He rushed forward, wanting to kill those puppets. He was a genius of the 9 firmaments' sacred emperor. No matter how strong the puppet was, how could it be compared to them? Kill. With a furious roar, light filled the sky and turned into a silver arc that slashed forward. The void was instantly sliced in half. From this, one could imagine how terrifying that attack was. Clang! Among them, a figure with a human body and a snake tail stabbed out with a spear. Bang! It collided with the silver light and made a clanging sound. The heavens fell, and the earth cracked as thunder rumbled. The silver light was shattered, and the bronze spear pierced through the void, smashing into the body of the genius from the 9 heavens' holy ground. What? Everyone was stunned by this scene, especially the people of 9 firmaments. Saint Emperor. They screamed like crazy. The expressions of the others turned ugly. What kind of puppet was this? This was too terrifying. The one who had attacked was a young prodigy. Although he was not as strong as the saint, he was still an extremely powerful almighty. However, he was actually unable to contend against his opponent's spear. The level of these puppets was too terrifying. If there was an army of puppets like this, no one would be able to resist it. However, they had never heard of anyone who had such a terrifying puppet technique. No, damn it, impossible. The people of 9 firmaments, sacred emperor roared. At this moment, an elder of the Yi family narrowed his eyes. This was not a puppet technique. This was magic bean soldiers. What? Magic bean soldiers. As soon as these words came out, everyone was stunned. A few elders who were like living fossils trembled in fear. Magic bean soldiers. Could this be the legendary superpower? Rumor had it that this was an immortal technique. How could these people? Immortal technique. Everyone trembled. Anything related to immortals was definitely the most mysterious and powerful. How could these people from Immortal Palace have such a strange superpower? Could it be that they were really related to immortals? They did not know. Their faces turned pale. Now, they finally understood why Immortal Palace dared to go against the 3 Holy Lands. With this superpower of magic bean soldiers, they could instantly gather thousands of experts. They could definitely go against the 3 Holy Lands. Damn it! The people of the 3 Holy Lands roared in anger. They were also stunned by the other party's move. For a moment, they did not attack. Instead, they stood there in bewilderment. Immortal Palace's people all heaved a sigh of relief. They cheered and sneered. Lin Xian was also stunned. He did not know that Immortal Palace had such a superpower. It seemed that Immortal Palace was even more mysterious and powerful than he had imagined. He knew that although he was now the palace master, the Immortal Palace he had come into contact with was probably only the most superficial things. The real core was probably still in the hands of the old palace master. As for Immortal Palace's true strength and foundation, he did not know what level it had reached. Perhaps other than Xiaojuyo, no one else knew. So, are we still going to fight? The corners of his mouth curled up as he asked indifferently. The Crimson Dragon sneered again and again. Were the 3 Holy Lands that strong? Come and attack together. Let's hurt each other. With this superpower and so many powerful puppets, they definitely did not fear the 3 Holy Lands. Therefore, Immortal Palace's side was full of confidence. In particular, the Crimson Dragon pointed at these people and cursed. Others were embarrassed to curse, but he couldn't care less. Come, come, come. Grandsons of the 3 Holy Lands, fight 300 rounds with Ben Huang. Ben Huang will definitely roast each and every one of you into golden roasted meat. That damned snake. You're courting death. Kill him. You must kill them. So what if they have superpowers? They're just high-level puppets. Do they really think they're immortal arts? That's right. How can puppets be compared to us? They were truly driven mad, and once again, they charged over. In an instant, the 2 sides fought. Boom, boom, boom. The people of the 3 Holy Lands rushed up. When Elder Li saw this, he snorted coldly and formed a seal with his palm. Boom. At the front, thousands of humanoid puppets wielded weapons and let out a roar. They wore bronze armor, and runes lit up and flickered incomparably. They turned into a green wave and surged forward. Bang, bang, bang. The attacks of thousands of top-notch puppets were incomparably powerful. They collided with the 3 Holy Lands. Immediately, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. Boundless energy swept in all directions. The surrounding martial artists all retreated, not daring to be affected at all. Bang, bang, bang. The surging green wave was like a heavenly blade that slashed at the people of the 3 Holy Lands. Puff. Those young martial artists vomited large mouthfuls of blood and were sent flying with miserable screams. There was nothing they could do. The elders could resist, but their strength was not enough. They were sent flying in an instant. In fact, many of them turned into blood and scattered in the void. Chapter 25:25. Many martial artists from the sacred lands were turned into blood and scattered across the void. The scene was extremely tragic. Damn it. Seeing this scene, the powerhouses of the three sacred lands roared crazily, "Use your trump cards." They once again used the Immortal Palace, Lightning Pool, and 5-element flags to kill these top-notch puppets. Oomph! Elderly snorted coldly and formed a seal with his palm again. Thousands of top-notch puppets roared. The runes on their bodies flickered quickly and circled continuously, forming a huge phantom in the sky. This phantom also had a human body and a snake tail. It held a desolate ancient artifact in its hand and emitted a desolate aura as if it had crossed time and space. Is this a half-demon? Many young disciples were puzzled. The living fossils trembled. Don't talk nonsense. That's a totem. Legend has it that countless years ago, the ancestors of the human race had a human body and a snake tail. This immortal palace is too terrifying and mysterious. I'm afraid they're even more terrifying than we imagined. What? Totem? The surrounding people were stunned. The eyes of the Yi family, Jade Lake Sacred Lands, Daowon Sacred Lands, and other powerful sacred lands flickered. The elders of the imperial dynasties also had solemn expressions. In Murong Qingqing, Shun Jingqiu heaved a sigh of relief. Their expressions softened, and they even smiled. That's great. The more powerful Immortal Palace is, the safer Lin Xian will be. They were also more at ease. However, the elders behind them were completely stunned. Previously, they had planned to save the other party's life in a critical moment. But now, it seemed that there was no need for that. The other party's foundation was beyond their imagination. In the sky, the huge totem emitted a desolate aura and quickly pressed down. It collided with the trump cards of the three sacred lands. An even more intense explosion sounded as if the world was about to be destroyed. At this moment, all the martial artists of the sacred lands activated their armor and defenses to resist. They were like small boats swaying in the wind. Boom, boom, boom. Suddenly, an even more terrifying murderous aura appeared in the violent energy. 7 beams of light pierced through the entire space like pillars. They tore apart the storm that filled the sky. Damn it, what happened? Could it be that Immortal Palace used another trump card? The surrounding people were terrified. They all trembled and could not help but want to kneel down. This power was too strong. Even the Immortal Palace, the Lightning Pool, and the 5 elements banners in the sky were trembling nonstop. How could this be? How could they possess such powerful strength? The expressions of the people from the 3 holy lands changed. Could it be that it was the pressure of a saint again? They thought that Lin Xian had unraveled the saint's handbone and produced this power. Immortal Palace's side was similarly shocked. This was because Lin Xian did not use the saint's handbone. He looked around and found that other than Elder Li's being soldiers, no one else had used any other terrifying trump cards. Then what was with this terrifying aura? Elder Li also noticed this point, and his expression was uncertain. Elder Li, don't do anything, Lin Xian said from the side. He had a feeling that there was something wrong with the tomb. Sure enough, Elder Li nodded and withdrew the huge totem in the sky. The 1,000 top-notch puppets quickly retreated and circled around them. It had disappeared. The totem's aura had disappeared. The eyes of the powerful cultivators outside flickered. Whoosh! The light that filled the sky was pierced through. Finally, everyone could see the scene in front of them clearly. What was that? They were stupefied, because they discovered that the trembling power that made them feel despair wasn't released by Immortal Palace. It was not released by the 3 holy lands either. It was something else. The 3 holy lands were also stunned. What exactly was that? Damn it, it was not someone from Immortal Palace. In the space between them and Immortal Palace, 7 streaks of light appeared. To be more precise, they were 7 coffins. 7 bronze coffins appeared on the ground. They emitted a heavy aura. The 7 streaks of murderous aura that connected heaven and earth were released by these 7 bronze coffins. As soon as they appeared, It was as if they were 7 demonic mountains that pressed down on everyone's hearts. It was so heavy that they could not breathe at all. Each of the 7 bronze coffins was incomparably huge, as if they had existed for countless years. From the sky, they looked like the 7 stars of the Big Dipper. In fact, there were stars engraved on the 7 bronze coffins. Big Dipper coffin. Everyone swallowed their saliva crazily. They were facing a great enemy with the sudden appearance of the bronze coffin. Whose coffin was that? Who was buried inside? Why would it appear at this time? Could it be that they had encountered some kind of restriction when they were fighting earlier? Would it be dangerous for them after it appeared? They had no idea. Boom, boom, crack. While they were still in shock, one of the bronze coffins suddenly began to tremble. Damn it! What happened? Could it be that it was going to turn into a corpse? Everyone was terrified. No, they had to stop it. They were too terrified because the corpses and heads they had discovered so far were at least invincible kings. Moreover, the Een soldiers from before had also left a huge shadow on them. Therefore, they did not allow the bronze coffin to revive. They did not allow the things inside to come out. In an instant, countless people unleashed formation after formation to seal the coffin. They flew down, wanting to completely seal the coffin. Boom. The people from 5 Elements Palace were the closest. They were the first to set up the 5 Elements Great Seal. Buzz, buzz. 5 mysterious runes floated down and enveloped the bronze coffin. Phew. Everyone heaved a sigh of relief. Bang. Damn it. Not good. They cried out in alarm again because they discovered something. The 5 Elements Great Seal. It was shattered in an instant. Above the bronze coffin, a flickering star. It directly broke through the 5 Elements Great Seal. The bronze coffin trembled even more violently. Ice whirled. A delicate shout sounded, and countless ice spread out. Immediately, the trembling bronze coffin was sealed in ice. Not only it, but the surrounding space was covered in snow, turning into a world of ice and snow. An elder from Moon Palace made a move. However, everyone did not relax and still looked over. Sure enough, in the next moment, the world of ice and snow melted quickly, turning into countless puddles of water that sank into the ground and disappeared. The bronze coffin was still trembling more and more violently. Don't hesitate. Hurry up and make a move, the Yi family elder said coldly. The people from Wavering Light's sacred land also shouted coldly. In an instant, everyone in the surroundings made a move. The sky full of light condensed, trying to seal the bronze coffin below. However, before they could make a move, the bronze coffin in front of them cracked open. Damn it! It opened. Everyone trembled and almost fell from the sky. They did not expect the coffin to open so suddenly. Could it be that the corpses inside had mutated? These people had skin and hair. Chapter 25-26. Whoosh. When the bronze coffin was halfway open, a pale hand grabbed the edge. Then, a figure sat up. Crack, crack. The purple figure walked out of the coffin and floated in the air. What's that? Everyone was stunned. They finally got a clear look at the figure. To be exact, it wasn't a human. It was very strange. It was very similar to the puppet from before. It had a human body, but its body was covered in scales. There was a tail behind it that looked like a snake's tail. However, it had a different tail. The snake's tail was very smooth, but the tail was covered with poisonous thorns. As it swayed, it easily shattered the void. Monster beast. Everyone was shocked. They didn't expect that the thing that came out of the bronze coffin was not a human, but a monster beast. What was going on? Everyone was stunned. They had encountered all kinds of strange things before. They had even encountered the heads of 99 invincible kings. However, those people from before were all humans. They didn't look like monsters at all. However, one of the Big Dipper coffins that appeared now was a monster beast. What was going on? Were the other 6 demonic beasts as well? They didn't know. They couldn't fight against one of them. That was because the monster with purple scales and a purple tail in front of them was floating in the air. 2 white flames suddenly appeared in its eye sockets. Attack! Boom! 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 Countless powerhouses attacked, turning into a sky full of energy that slashed at the fist technique. In an instant, the purple figure was shrouded. Light exploded, sword chi and saber light flashed. The space in front of them exploded in an instant, turning into nothingness. This is great. Was it destroyed? Everyone heaved a sigh of relief. Although the other party had come out, it definitely couldn't withstand the attacks of so many people. Gulp, gulp. Suddenly, a purple light appeared in the sky. It was like a heavenly saber that cut the sky open. Boom. The energy was also cut open. A pair of purple hands destroyed everything. A purple silhouette walked out from within. Whoosh, whoosh. It wasn't injured. How was that possible? Damn it, was it still human? What level had this corpse reached? Everyone was stunned. The purple monstrous beast didn't receive any damage at all. What was even more frightening was that a few large purple mouths grew out of the other party's body, rapidly absorbing the surrounding energy as though they were enjoying delicious food. Not good. He was going to attack. Boom. The purple palm blotted out the sky and covered the earth as it slammed toward them. It was as if 100,000 mountains were pressing down on them. With a loud rumble, many people were forced back, and the violent energy in the sky was also torn apart. Damn it, he was actually so powerful. From the looks of it, his strength had surpassed that of a peerless almighty. These people were terrified. They didn't expect the other party to be so powerful. Furthermore, from the looks of it, the corpse that had been dead for tens of thousands of years had mutated and come back to life. Foolish humans, how dare you trespass into the tomb of the demon race's saint? All of you must die. A cold and emotionless voice reverberated between heaven and earth. Ancient tomb of a demon saint? What? How could this be? How could he be a saint of the demon race? This is clearly the tomb of our human race's saint. All the martial artists from the Holy Lands and great sects were stunned. Lin Xian also frowned, because from the previous signs, all of the methods belonged to the human race. Whether it was those Tao patterns or the treasures, all of the 99 heads belonged to the human race. This was obviously the tomb of the human race's saint. But now, the Big Dipper coffin had appeared, and the corpse inside had come back to life. It actually claimed that this was the tomb of the demon race. Impossible. What was going on? Everyone was dumbfounded. Moreover, more people were puzzled. This corpse had been here for tens of thousands of years. How could it come back to life? That was too abnormal. They didn't know the reason, but when they thought about it, it was similar to the Yin soldiers. It wasn't a true resurrection. The one that came out of the bronze coffin was already so powerful. If the other 6 bronze coffins came out, wouldn't they be able to defeat everyone? No, they had to kill him quickly. And stop him. Why don't we run away? All kinds of discussions could be heard. Many people's eyes flickered as they stared at the bronze coffin. They didn't know what was inside the bronze coffin. They felt that there was a need to investigate. Behind them, the people of the Demon King Palace were overjoyed. That was great. Finally, someone from the demon race appeared. I told you, this is the tomb of our demon race's saint. Those despicable humans didn't believe me. Now, they know how powerful we are. What should we do now? Should we go up and meet up with the powerful corpse and kill these humans together? An expert voiced his opinion. However, Yin Ruyu shook his head. Do you want to be the target of public criticism? Do you think you can exterminate all humans? If one of them goes out, all the Holy Lands and major sects in the world will attack the Demon King Palace. Do you think the Demon King Palace can survive? If the Saint Physique dies here, I'm afraid the Yi family outside will bring extreme weapons to attack. Hearing about extreme weapons, the experts of the Demon King Palace trembled and a trace of fear appeared in their eyes. What should we do? The others asked. Hua Tiandu's eyes flickered. We can stay here and watch. Let them kill each other. The people of the Demon King Palace didn't move forward. Instead, they retreated to a corner. At this moment, no one paid attention to them. After all the Holy Land's warriors were staring at the purple figure in front of them as if they were facing a great enemy. The people in front of them were also discussing. Let's fight. We have to get rid of this demonic beast. Otherwise, we won't be able to move forward. 5 Elements Palace, 9 Heavens Holy Ground, and the 1,000 Thunder Saints people were gloomy. They wanted to take revenge, but they didn't expect this to happen. They gritted their teeth and stared at Lin Xian. Lin Xian snorted. Why? Do you still want to fight? I don't mind playing with you guys. As he spoke, the top-grade puppets around him flickered with mysterious runes and formed a powerful force that intimidated everyone. Damn it, brat, just you wait. I won't let you guys off. The people of the 3 Holy Lands gritted their teeth and didn't continue to attack. Compared to Lin Xian, the purple demonic beast in front of them was a bigger threat. Humph. Lin Xian sneered. Elderly waved his hand and kept the top-grade puppets. These were trump cards that couldn't be used for too long. He would only use them in times of danger. Seeing this scene, the 4 symbols Holy Lands, the Yin-Yang sect, the Tuoba family, and the others all had gloomy expressions. Originally, they wanted to let the other party take the lead and use these puppets to kill the purple demonic beast. They wanted to exhaust the Immortal Palace's trump cards. However, they didn't expect the people of the Immortal Palace to be so decisive and put away their trump cards in an instant. Humph. A young expert from the Tuoba family didn't give up and snorted. Fellow cultivator, why did you put them away? These top-grade puppets don't have life and can't feel pain. Moreover, they are very strong. They are the most suitable to deal with the purple demonic beast. Chapter 25-27. As soon as these words came out, everyone turned their heads to look. The faces of the people from Immortal Palace changed. Lin Xian snorted coldly, flicked his finger, and a sword wave flew out, directly killing the young powerhouse who spoke. Damn it! What are you doing? The people of the Tuoba family roared crazily. They didn't expect that the other party would dare to attack them. Moreover, it was a fatal blow right from the start. They couldn't react at all. Give me a reason to protect you? Lin Xian asked coldly. Hearing this, everyone fell silent and didn't speak. That's right, when Immortal Palace was besieged and killed, they didn't go forward to help. Now they wanted the other party to protect them? How is that possible? Damn it, we're all humans. Now that we're facing the demon race, we naturally have to unite against a common enemy. The people of the Tuoba family wanted to use righteousness and reason to suppress the other party. After Lin Xian heard this, he sneered disdainfully. Are you all humans? In my eyes, you're not humans. You're just a bunch of animals. What qualifications do you have to say that you're all humans? You. The people of the Tuoba family were so angry that they vomited blood. They were a dignified family of spirit seekers, dominating a region. When the major Holy Lands saw them, they had to be polite. But now, someone actually scolded them in public. How could they endure this? They must kill them. This kid was too arrogant. Damn kid, kneel down and kowtow. Countless angry roars sounded. Lin Xian's body erupted with endless sword light. If you want to die, I can fulfill your wish. As soon as the sword light appeared, it swept through the 9 heavens and 10 earths, causing everyone's scalp to go numb. Damn it, his strength had become stronger again. This sword chi was so terrifying. No wonder he could kill the 3 saints. His strength was much stronger than before. Could it be that this kid had also broken through? Exclamations sounded one after another. At this moment, the Alcade saints' eyes flickered. Zhongzhou twin kings' faces were ferocious. Yi Wudao smiled. As expected of Brother Lin, he didn't let him down. Wu Hua also chanted Amitabha, and the corners of his mouth raised into a smile. Both he and Lin Xian had obtained a small bronze cauldron. Inside the small cauldron, he had obtained a great opportunity. Come to think of it, Lin Xian should be the same. Stupid humans, even now you're still killing each other. Go to hell. The purple monster king's cold voice resounded once more. His palms blotted out the sky and covered the earth, sweeping in all directions. From the looks of it, he should be a protector, protecting the peace of this ancient tomb and hunting down all outsiders. Dodge quickly. Seeing this attack, the Holy Land martial artists were so scared that their scalps went numb. They fled like crazy. Pong! The void cracked open, and a huge black hole appeared. Boundless energy surged and swept out in all directions. Many people vomited blood and were sent flying. Boom. However, the experts from the various holy lands also made their moves. Leaf Daudinier roared, and golden light erupted from him, making him look like a golden sun. Then he thrust his hand out, unleashing a massive sealing mark. Wong. On the Alcade Saint's body, phantoms of gods and demons filled the sky. Above his head, a ball of holy light condensed and flew out quickly. Kill. The middle ground twin kings roared. Demonic chi and Buddhist light flickered. It was strange and terrifying. Apart from them, the other saints and saintesses all made their moves. The young disciples weren't the only ones. The powerful elders and living fossils were also making their moves. Wang. Lin Xian circled around him. Under his control, the 5 forms of sword chi also flew forward. Flying flower. Murong Qingcheng waved his hand, and petals filled the sky, forming a huge light blade that slashed down from the sky. Purple chi from the east. Shen Jingqiu's face was cold, and her jade-like hands kept waving. Purple chi floated in the sky, carrying with it a supreme divine might. When these people attacked together, it was truly terrifying. Nothing could resist them. No matter how powerful the purple monster king was, he was still forced back. That's great. He was not invincible. Seeing this scene, everyone was overjoyed and their confidence increased. If they joined forces, they might be able to kill him. Roar. The purple monster king was forced back, and he was mad with anger. White flames flickered in his eyes, and an incomparably mysterious power erupted from his body, sweeping in all directions. The attacks from the elites of the various sacred lands were all sent flying or disappeared into the black hole. Quickly, form a formation. These elders and saints might be able to withstand such a violent attack, but those young warriors simply couldn't withstand it. Many of them were directly blasted to pieces. Therefore, the elders hurriedly asked the young disciples to form a powerful formation to resist. As expected, the foundations of the various sacred lands were terrifying. The young disciples formed a formation, and its power multiplied. It could resist the energy attacks that filled the sky. Damn humans, you have angered me. I will kill all of you. The purple monster king's voice was cold. Wang. His body expanded, and he turned into a peerless monster king that was as big as a purple mountain. The power in his body suddenly erupted. Mysterious runes appeared on his body one after another, and they were incomparably flickering. Dao patterns. Those were Dao patterns. Damn it. He had been refined. The elders of the Yi family, the Gu family, and the other clan of the ancients screamed. The elites of the various imperial dynasties also narrowed their eyes. Not good. Retreat. They retreated crazily. However, it was too late. A purple fist tore through the void. Terrifying energy rushed toward Lin Xian and the others. Lin Xian and the others felt a great sense of danger. The sky was filled with sword chi. He frantically activated the great dragon sword soul, and it exploded to the extreme. Lin Xian's defense was not the strongest, but his attack power was strong. He used offense as defense and destroyed all the energy that rushed toward him. He dodged the fatal attack, but the aftershock of the energy still knocked him back. His blood boiled. The people of the Immortal Palace were safe because the 3 elders had used their trump cards. The other saints and experts also displayed their trump cards one after another. The replica dragon pattern cauldron and the golden sword all flew out. On Murong Qingqing's side, a huge lotus flower wrapped around them. On Shun Jingqiu's side, countless purple clouds surrounded her, making her look like a fairy. Although these people also used their trump cards, they were all knocked back. Their attacks were also shattered. Although their lives were not in danger, many of them still vomited large mouthfuls of blood. The formation formed by the young disciples was torn into pieces in an instant. Many of them were directly blasted into a bloody mist by the punch. Damn it! How could he be so strong? Those who were still alive were extremely terrified. The elders' faces were gloomy. Lin Xian also frowned and asked, "Are you saying that the light flickering on the body of the lecherous demon king is Dao patterns? Could it be that he is a saint?" He was too shocked. He now knew that Tao patterns could only be formed by saints. Those below saints could not form them at all. They could only observe. However, Tao patterns appeared on the body of the purple demon king. And there was more than one. There were 8 densely packed Tao patterns. Chapter 25-28. This was too terrifying. If this was really the corpse of a saint, then none of them would be able to stop it. It was better to think of a way to escape as soon as possible. No, that was not it. Palace Master, this was not the corpse of a saint. The Tao patterns on his body were probably engraved by someone else. Engraved? Who had such great strength? Lin Xian was shocked. Suddenly, his pupils constricted. You mean, a saint engraved it? Why would a saint engrave Tao patterns on this demon king? Was it just to protect it? That's right, it should be to protect it, Elderly said. With such a powerful corpse guarding it, even if an invincible king came, he probably wouldn't be able to steal the last thing. Could it be that there was some shocking treasure in the saint's ancient tomb? Xing Tian frowned. The Crimson Dragon's eyes lit up. Do you think it could be the saint's inheritance? Hearing this, everyone's hearts beat wildly. The saint's inheritance. That was the essence of the saint's lifelong learning. If no accidents happened, anyone who could obtain it would be able to grow into an invincible king. Or if they were lucky, they might become the next saint. This made everyone's heart beat faster. It was much more precious than any heavenly treasure or earthly treasure. But soon, he smiled bitterly. Even if there was really the saint's inheritance, so what? With the current situation, they couldn't resist at all. Moreover, this was only one of the bronze coffins. If all 6 of them came out together, no one would be able to resist. Now, they should think about how to escape. Not only Lin Xian and the others guessed so, but the other Sacred Lands martial artists were also discussing. They also guessed that there was a possibility that there was the saint's inheritance. The people of the Demon King Palace in the distance were even more excited. They were the most suitable to cultivate the demon saint's inheritance. After all, although they were half demons, the blood of the demons flowed in their bodies. Some of them were even mutants. The demon saint's tradition was very important to them. If they could get one, there would be a living demon saint in the Demon King Palace. In that case, the strength of the Demon King Palace would undergo an earth-shattering change. No, they must get the last inheritance of this saint's ancient tomb. The people of the Demon King Palace clenched their fists. Hua Tiandu was even more excited. Kill, they must kill him. The various sacred lands discussed. He attacked again. The elders of the Yi family made their move. Leaf Daodinier was even more powerful than Yang Qi, and as he did, a golden domain sprang up around him. Endless golden light enveloped the entire sky. Wang. The wavering light saint pushed the replica dragon pattern cauldron. The elders of the wavering light holy land behind him pushed together and poured all their energy into the dragon pattern cauldron. Wang. The imitation dragon pattern cauldron kept getting bigger and bigger, crushing the void. The 2 dragons on it seemed to have come alive. Earth-shattering energy poured down in torrents. The Grand Xia Empire. The prince of the Great Xia dynasty also wielded his golden sword. The sky was filled with golden swords, and they slashed down from the sky. Taishan Holy Land. A young man stretched out his palm. In the center of his palm, there were 99 stars revolving around. It was extremely mysterious, as if it was a universe. At this moment, everyone was attacking madly. Furthermore, this time around, those people had all used their most powerful trump cards. Elder Wang, Elder Lu, please protect our disciples. The rest of you, follow me and attack. Lin Xian instructed. He did not order everyone to attack. He held back because he was afraid that the people of the 5 Elements Palace would suddenly assassinate him. With the 2 elders guarding, the rest of the young disciples retreated to the back. Lin Xian, the Crimson Dragon, Xing Tian, Elderly, and Peacock attacked together. Damned human, go to hell. In front, the purple demon king roared. The 8 Tao patterns on its body flickered rapidly. Wang. The 8 Tao patterns flew out and shone brightly, forming a Tao diagram in the sky. It pressed down. The Tao diagram was extremely hazy, but it was like a millstone that could destroy the world. Everything that collided with it was turned to dust. Nothing could stop it. Slash. The prince of the great Xia dynasty roared. The golden sword slashed down on the Tao diagram, making a clanging sound. Then, the golden sword was sent flying. On the imitation dragon pattern cauldron, the two dragons roared and turned into two dragon shadows that rushed over. They clashed with the Tao diagram, but soon they were also destroyed. Lin Xian's sword Qi collided with it and was also sent flying. Not only that, nothing could stop it. Saber light, sword Qi, spatial power, sea of fire, wind, fire, lightning. In short, all kinds of energy were useless in front of the Tao. Pung pung pung. Everyone was sent flying again. Many people vomited blood. Some of their bodies even cracked. A few unlucky elders were hit by the Tao diagram. Their bodies collapsed and could no longer reassemble. How terrifying! A trace of the Tao diagram's energy was enough to kill a peerless powerhouse. Everyone trembled in fear. Lin Xian also retreated. He frowned. The enemy was so strong. Why didn't these people retreat? On the side, Xing Tian explained, "Young master, it's not that simple. The foundations of the various sacred lands are very strong. They probably have many trump cards that they haven't used yet. Not to mention them, Immortal Palace also has many trump cards that we haven't used yet. We haven't used them yet." Lin Xian was shocked. Forget about their Immortal Palace for now. Their Immortal Palace was perfectly preserved. Apart from them, the other weaker ones all withdrew from the battlefield. Therefore, there were no casualties for the time being. However, many of the other Sacred Lands geniuses had been killed. Were the Sacred Lands still not going to use all their trump cards? It had to be said that the Sacred Lands sects were really patient. Wang, just as they were discussing, a green stream of light suddenly streaked through the void in the distance. Everywhere it passed, the void shattered. Everyone looked up frantically. Damn it, what kind of power was that? They all trembled uncontrollably. Even Xin Jingqiu, Murong Qingqing, Yi Wudao, and Wu Hua, who had top bloodlines, were shocked. Whoosh! An earth-shattering sound rang out. The bronze coffin that the purple fiend had crawled out of was broken in half. What was going on? What happened? Everyone was shocked. Why would someone attack the bronze coffin? Could it be that they had found some clues? They were puzzled. The green light flashed in the sky and disappeared. The purple monster king let out a shrill cry. Damn it! Its power was weakening, and the Tao patterns on its body were quickly dimming, as if they would disappear at any time. What was going on? Seeing this scene, everyone was shocked. Was the purple fiend going to be killed just by breaking the coffin? Could it be that the coffin was the key? Everyone was stunned. Who was so powerful? Even the powerful array masters in their sacred lands did not notice this weakness. The purple fiend was also unwilling. It turned its head, and white flames jumped in its eye sockets as it stared into the distance. Chapter 25-29. Damn it, you're not human. Everyone followed his gaze, their hearts thumping wildly. Demon Imperial Palace. It's the people from Demon Imperial Palace. Oh my god. It's actually Demon Imperial Palace. Everyone came to a realization. The people from Demon Imperial Palace were half demons, and the blood of the demon race flowed in their bodies. No wonder they could find the other party's flaw. However, who was the one who attacked just now? What was that green light? Was it their trump card? These people didn't know. There was also one thing that they were very puzzled about. These people from Demon Imperial Palace said that this was the ancient tomb of a demon saint the moment they entered. At first, they didn't believe it. Now, they had doubts. Could it be that Demon Imperial Palace knew more than them? For a moment, everyone looked at Demon Imperial Palace with unfriendly expressions. After all, no matter how powerful the other party was, it was only a sacred ground. There were many sacred grounds here. If they joined forces, they might be able to take down the other party. Humph. Seeing the gazes of the sacred grounds, Huatiandu snorted coldly. A purple bead rushed out of his body, emitting a powerful demon qi. The demon she emitted made the warriors of the sacred grounds frown. Of course, there were also saints who sneered. Wasn't it just a trump card? They had one too. However, soon, these saints were stunned and began to tremble uncontrollably. Beside Hua Tiandu, a beautiful woman walked out. A green light flickered on her body. As soon as the aura of the green light appeared, it seemed to carry a supreme pressure, making people want to kneel down and worship it. Damn it! What kind of aura was this? How could it be so powerful? The expressions of the elders of the sacred grounds also changed drastically, and their faces were filled with fear. Could it be a treasure of a saint? This aura was too terrifying. Moreover, they discovered that it was this green light that directly shattered the bronze coffin earlier. Boom, boom, boom. While the warriors of the sacred grounds were exclaiming, the purple demon king in front also roared angrily. The Tao patterns on his body finally disappeared completely. His body also slowly shrank and finally returned to normal. The white flames in his eye sockets disappeared. His entire body became a corpse again. This is great. It was broken. When the warriors of the sacred grounds saw this scene, they were pleasantly surprised. The people of Demon Imperial Palace also heaved a sigh of relief. They looked at Yin Ruyu and were also extremely nervous. To be honest, not to mention those humans, even they didn't know what the cyan light in Yin Ruyu's body was. Attack! Take the bronze coffin back! Yin Ruyu ordered. Hua Tiandu also coldly shouted. The experts on the Demon King Palace's side all attacked. Not good. Stop them. Although the sacred ground still didn't know what was inside the coffin, they still didn't know. But when he saw the people from the Demon Imperial Palace make a move, those elders also roared in anger and attacked one after another. For a moment, all kinds of light flashed in the sky, fighting until the sky fell and the earth cracked. The bronze coffin below was once again shattered by this violent energy. The huge coffin was shattered into hundreds of pieces and fell apart. Whoosh! One of the experts from the Wind Dynasty, God, took a look and cried out in alarm. Tao pattern. There were Tao patterns carved on it. What? Tao pattern. Could it be that the Tao pattern on the Demon King's body came from the coffin? They had seen how terrifying the Tao pattern was. So now, they were frantically attacking. For a moment, everyone was crazily snatching. Whoosh! Lin Xian stretched out his palm, and the azure dragon palm circled and whistled. He directly grabbed 3 pieces and dragged them back. Damn it! Put them down! An expert from the Nangong family roared, but he was sent flying by Xing Tian's slap. On the other side, Yu Wudao was incomparably powerful and also obtained a few pieces. The prince of the Great Xia dynasty, Wu Hua, and the others also attacked. Murong Qingqing and Shen Jingqiu also obtained a few pieces. In the sky, the number of coffin fragments decreased, and everyone fought even more fiercely. At this moment, the sound of metal trembling rang out and instantly spread throughout the surroundings. These people trembled and almost fell from the sky. They stopped fighting and turned their heads to look down in bewilderment. Below, a bronze coffin was rapidly trembling. Not good. Something was coming out again. Everyone was scared out of their wits. The one that came out previously had already frightened them. It killed many of their disciples. If not for the mysterious woman from the Demon King Palace, their losses would probably be even more serious. Hurry up and attack. Shatter that bronze coffin. They had already guessed that the bronze coffin was the corpse's Achilles heel. As long as they could shatter it, the corpse inside would not be able to revive. Kill. The experts of the sacred lands attacked and quickly attacked the trembling bronze coffin below. Boom, boom. After a series of attacks, they were dumbfounded. They discovered that the bronze coffin was intact, and there was not a single crack on it. The people from the Demon King Palace also frowned. They attacked, but it was also ineffective. Therefore, they looked at Yin Ruyu. Yin Ruyu frowned, and the green light on her body bloomed again. She raised her jade-like hand and was about to attack. However, at this moment, a cold voice came from the bronze coffin below. If you attack again, don't blame me for being merciless and killing you. Hearing this voice, Yin Ruyu frowned. She lowered her hand and did not attack again. Instead, She turned around and said, "Let's go." She flew straight ahead. Huatiandu's eyes flickered as he gritted his teeth and roared, "Follow." The people from the Demon King Palace left. Although they did not know where the path led, they did not stay there. The cold voice they had heard before was filled with killing intent and a thick, demonic aura that they could not resist. They knew that this was also a powerful Demon King. It was even more terrifying than the previous Demon King. The remaining warriors of the sacred lands were shocked. They did not expect that a voice would come from the bronze coffin before it was opened. Moreover, it scared away the people from the Demon King Palace. This phenomenon was even stranger than before. Could it be that the thing inside was even more terrifying? They gritted their teeth and attacked crazily again. Boom! The bronze coffin below trembled. A wave of power swept out like a heavenly blade, slashing in all directions. It collided with the energy. Reckless humans, all of you can go to hell. Not good. Retreat. It was too powerful. In the sky, the power caused the surrounding warriors to tremble. They retreated crazily. They quickly left. Exclamations sounded one after another. These elders and powerhouses of the sacred lands had made a decision. They let the saints leave with the young disciples. These elders and powerhouses would stay here and fight. Go. Yi Wudao shouted coldly and quickly left. In addition to the young Yi family disciples, there were 2 or 3 powerhouses guarding him. As for the rest, they stayed behind. Chapter 25:30. Yi Wudao led the young disciples of the Yi family into the sky and flew into the distance. Wavering Light Sacred Land, Dao Yi Sacred Land, Moon Palace, and Taixian Sacred Land. All the sacred lands and sects did the same. Lin Xian did the same. Only Xing Tian remained by Lin Xian's side. The 3 elders remained behind. Big Brother Xian, Big Brother Lin Xian, Murong Qingqing, and Shun Jingqiu also brought people over. They turned into a torrent and rushed into the distance. Boom! As soon as they left, an earth-shattering energy came from behind. The young cultivators who were leaving turned back. They saw a sky full of light that tore through heaven and earth. Even though they were so far away, they still felt a wave of fear and trembling. It was too terrifying. These elders had all used their trump cards. It was incomparably terrifying. Ignorant humans, since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. An even colder voice sounded. A black shadow covered heaven and earth, devouring all the light. Following that, angry roars could be heard. The black shadow continued to devour everything in front of it and seemed to be spreading in all directions. Seeing this scene, the young cultivators felt their scalps go numb. They fled as if they had gone mad. Hurry up and leave. Lin Xian also led the cultivators of Immortal Palace, Murong Qingqing, and Qiu. They turned into streams of light and disappeared into the sky. They flew and flew for about half a day. Finally, a light screen appeared in front of them. It was incomparably hazy. The young cultivators who were fleeing all stopped. They looked at the light screen in front of them and frowned. They couldn't pass through it. They were blocked. Damn it! Angry roars rang out one after another. The young cultivators even used their trump cards and charged forward. However, they still couldn't open it. The light screen in front of them flickered with flowing light. There was clearly the power of Dao patterns on it. Perhaps even an invincible king couldn't open it. Damn it, there was no way. What should they do? Should they go back? Or should they wait here for the battle to end? Everyone was discussing. Many of them looked at Yi Wudao, Wavering Light Saint, and the others. They wanted to see what these top geniuses could do. Brother Lin, what do you think? Leaf Dao Denier didn't respond. Instead, he looked over at Lin Xian. A golden light appeared in Lin Xian's eyes and surrounded him. Although the hall was huge, it was enveloped by a light screen. There were Dao runes flickering on the light screen. Obviously, there was nowhere to run. He raised his head and looked at the sky. There was a ceiling high up in the sky. The ceiling was decorated with the sun, moon, and stars. It was like the universe. From the looks of it, it was an extremely terrifying formation. Thinking about it, it would be difficult to break it. The ground was also filled with veined patterns. However, Lin Xian frowned. This time, through his heavenly secret divine eyes, he discovered that there seemed to be a tunnel underground. Attack downwards. Lin Xian pointed down and said in a deep voice, Attack downwards? Everyone was stunned. What kind of joke was this? There were also formation runes below. That's right, even if he could break through the ground. So what? Since there's no path below, why don't I just attack from above? Many people shook their heads, not believing that Lin Xian was right. However, Leaf Doudinier and Flowerless nodded. All right, let's attack from below. We'll help too. Shen Jingqiu and Murong Qingqing also stepped forward. At the same time, they called for the martial artists of their respective sects to attack together. Damn it! How could Leaf Doudinier and the others trust that kid? The people of Tai Dynasty, Five Elements Palace, Yin Yang Sect, and Tuoba family gnashed their teeth. They didn't have a good relationship with Lin Xian, so naturally, they didn't want to listen to Lin Xian. However, even Leaf Doudinier and the others were attacking downwards. It was useless for them to resist. Humph, let's see what's down there. The martial artists of Five Elements Palace, Nine Firmaments Divine Emperor, and Myriad Thunder Sacred Land snorted. They didn't attack because Lin Xian had killed their holy son. Why would they help him at this time? Leaf Doudinier glanced at them and said coldly, If you don't want to fight, then scram. This place doesn't raise trash. You. They were so angry that they vomited blood and trembled. However, there was nothing they could do. Their opponent was a holy body. They couldn't beat him. They could only attack together with dark faces. These young disciples were all geniuses, and they had their holy sons and holy daughters opening the way for them. Damn it, he's too strong. We can't blast it open. These people were shocked. They had so many people and such powerful strength, but they couldn't blast it open. Lin Xian frowned. That's not right. Are they from Demon Imperial Palace? Why aren't they here? He looked around and found that there were still many people from the Holy Lands and sects who hadn't arrived. It seems that they went in a different direction from us. How about this? Let's lure all of them here and gather everyone's strength to blast it open. All right. Hearing this, Leaf Doudinier raised his palm, and a golden light burst out and swept in all directions. Sure enough, when the martial artists in other directions saw this scene, they all turned their heads. That's the Yi family's holy body. What happened? Is there a battle? No, it seems to be a signal for summoning. Let's go over and take a look. Someone exclaimed. The martial artists in other directions flew in the direction of the golden light. Soon, more and more people gathered. Whoosh! The people from northern plains had arrived. The people from southern ridge had also arrived. The people from Demon Imperial Palace had also arrived. Everyone exclaimed. Sure enough, in the distance, Watiandu and Yin Ruyu led the experts from Demon Imperial Palace and rushed over. Wu ji in the sky. A squeak sounded, and then, a beautiful figure descended from the sky. Its holy daughter Yao Guang. Everyone exclaimed as they stared at that beautiful face without blinking. The people from Yao Guang Holy Land heaved a sigh of relief. They didn't see the holy daughter before and thought that she had also fallen. Now that they saw her, they were naturally relieved. Isn't that Whitey? Shen Jingqiu saw the snow-white monkey in holy daughter Yao Guang's arms and immediately exclaimed. Murong Qingqing and Lin Xian also forgot about it. Crimson Dragon, damn. Why is this little guy here? Holy daughter Yao Guang walked forward, wanting to meet up with holy son Yao Guang. But at this time, Whitey jumped away from her arms and returned to Lin Xian's shoulder, jumping excitedly. What? Everyone was stunned, and so was holy daughter Yao Guang. She turned her head to look at Lin Xian and called out softly, Little guy, come here. However, Whitey ignored her at all. Holy daughter Yao Guang took out a few more spirit fruits, wanting to attract it over. The junior shook his head. Holy daughter Yao Guang frowned, and the faces of those who followed her turned black. This guy wants to leave after eating his fill? How can there be such a good thing? Damn monkey, get over here. A martial artist roared, but holy daughter Yao Guang waved her hand to stop him. In the next moment, she walked forward with pulsating footsteps. Young master, can you transfer your little monkey to me? I like it very much. A good show is coming. Everyone was excited. Even Holy Sun Yao Guang turned his head to look. Lin Xin shook his head and said, I think you are wrong. Whitey is not a pet. He is my partner. Between us, there is no such thing as a transfer of ownership. If he wants to follow you, he will naturally leave me. But now it seems that he still prefers to stay with me. So, don't force him. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.